Return of the Mac, M.A.C, Moss, Andrew, Carl, back in the building, episode 203.
Yeah.
What's happening, fellas?
We back.
What it is. What's good? What's
Once
good?
again, it's on.
What's going on? Anything much?
Nah, just, getting everything straight. School right around the corner, about to start back up.
Oh, yeah, when do they go back?
August 16th?
16, 15 for y'all, I think.
15.
But
That
16
seems
to
like
15.
that's what it was like when I was a kid. That's what I remember, like mid-August. I felt like kids were going back to school more in September nowadays.
Some
Did that
school-
happen
I
recently?
thought it was the
Or am I
other way
just wrong?
around. Because I remember my birthday would still be in the summer, and my birthday is September 3rd. I remember we wouldn't go back to after that, because I remember I used to always have my birthday before
Really?
everybody would knew, because we would go back to school already.
It's possible. I don't remember. Right?
I
It's
never
not-
remember. I just remember summertime used to feel long as a motherfucker.
It did.
When you
Because
was
you
out
went
of
the whole
school.
August. I just remember going the
it
whole
used to
August.
feel long as a bitch.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's not like that anymore, of course,
Yeah.
as an
They
adult.
just slowly creeping it back. It was the end of August, now it's the middle of August. They're going to get it to,
I know.
I hope at some point, I think at some point it's supposed to be like making it year round.
When do they finish? Because I know
June.
we finished end of May. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it's like,
It would be
it's
like
the end of May,
28th,
maybe the
29th
first
was
week of
like our
June.
last
Yeah.
week of school,
They-
or like
they
the last
finished, like-
day of school.
Yeah, in June.
End of
Early
May,
June.
first week of June.
I think
something
maybe that's why I was thinking.
Somewhere in
Either way, all right. School coming up.
Yeah.
They got a no tax weekend coming up soon. Then
They canceled that shit in Virginia this year, I think.
really?
Did they?
Yeah, ain't no tax free weekend this year.
I mean, I don't really have that much stuff to buy, but I was gonna try to grab a few things.
Even then, you go out and try to get something.
I was gonna grab the computer that I didn't get on Prime Day
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, all this shit is a scam, man.
What's a scam?
Just
people
get
to spend money.
motherfuckers to go out and spend money on shit. Prime Day and shit. That shit is not actually.
Discounted prices. It's not.
Sometimes
I mean, it is,
discounted
but it's trying
prices.
to get people to
Sometimes
spend money.
Sometimes
You gonna
it's
spend money more than you would
Sometimes it
usually.
just looks like a discounted
discount.
price. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's just how they do
Sure,
it.
it happens sometimes.
They make the shit look good.
I don't know
Oh,
if it's
this
a
was
scam.
$500. Now it's $320, and then you look back, it's like, oh, it's been $320 fucking all year or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a scam more than it's just like a scheme to get people to just buy shit.
Sure, whatever you want to call it.
Go marketing.
Pyramid.
Yeah, it's a marketing scheme.
I agree
Pyramid
with that.
Because you're
schemes
not
or
get
scams.
scammed. They ain't telling you one price
Just
and then charging you another price. They
No,
charge
no,
you
no,
the
I
price
guess-
that
I
they
guess
show.
you can look at it
You know what
that way
I'm
for
saying? That
sure.
would be a scam. They would charge you. It's
You
only
get
$12
finesse,
for
though.
this.
I think it's-
They
I think
charge
a lot
you
of that
$50.
shit
It's
is
like,
a
what the
finesse.
fuck? So, yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, back to school shit.
But I love a good
Vacation
deal, too.
coming up. I can't fucking wait. And this week, I just been watching a lot of shit this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm watching a lot of shit. Just getting caught up on some new shit that dropped.
I mean, honestly, we can start there.
New things?
Before we go fully into, there's hundreds of wild hip hop stories from this past week. It was going down. But before we get fully integrated,
Yeah.
we can we'll start with some of these shows. But before we do that, you have anything from this week?
Oh, no.
Noteworthy?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing to talk about.
What's up?
I don't have anything too crazy, but we went to Saturday afternoon, went to Fun Quest with the kids. I skated this time. Bro, I haven't skated in so fucking
You a
long.
rollerblader or
That is, I know, that's
what do
what
they
I
call them? Inline or rollerblades?
Yo, I'm
or
scared.
what
I'm
is it
scared to skate now.
called? Why are you scared?
I just don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, all right. So hold that thought for
ahead.
just a second. So I got skates here because I didn't even know if they have blades or roller blades, but I can do either. But that's how I used to skate.
You have skates?
No. I'm saying when I was a kid, I could do either one.
Oh,
when we
okay.
went to Fun Quest, they just gave me skates, so that's what I used.
As a kid, I did straight rollerblades.
Yeah, I went straight to rollerblades.
That
I
was
grew
what
up around some kids in my
bulked
neighborhood that
one up.
skated, so I had to keep up.
Yeah.
And they
I feel like that was normal
rollerbladed.
when we were growing up.
Yeah,
Like,
and they rollerbladed around.
people used to just have a set of rollerblades at their crib, and we'd go outside and we skating today.
It was like you
Shit,
got a
we
bike
mi-
and skates.
Yeah, you got bike and skates.
Yeah.
I might only have one on today. My homeboy got the left.
Definitely
You know
had
what I'm
some
saying?
rollerblades.
That was-
Oh, we had the scooter joints too.
Scooters?
Yeah.
Scooters,
Yeah, the
skates,
scooters got
I had some
skateboards.
scooters and skateboards.
I
I had some wild white boys in my neighborhood, so I used to fuck with them. And you had to keep up. So you had to get you a skateboard, get you some rollerblades.
That makes
So the only
You
thing I
gotta
do
keep
on the skateboard, I would go to the top of the hill and I would ride that motherfucker down to the bottom of the hill, but I couldn't stop, so I would just jump off in the grass.
You gotta jump off.
And that bitch would just keep on going.
Pretty much.
I catch it up later. You know, like
You're gonna have a hella strawberries on your legs.
Yes. Yeah. Well, when we went skating, as soon as I got out there, like just trying to walk, I'm like both feet slipping, sliding all over. I was keeping my balance enough to not fall, but I was like, yo, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
But then, like literally 5 minutes into it, I was going around.
It's like
fine
walking.
and stuff.
That's-
Yeah, and it was normal. But like, it's mad kids out there, so you're kind of trying to miss the little kids that aren't barely moving and they keep falling. It was fun though. We had a good time.
I can't get past that initial part, just starting.
Yeah,
I just don't feel comfortable now.
Oh no, you gotta
I
get
get
going.
past that initial part. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna bust my ass. I just know I'm gonna bust my ass.
It's a scary feeling.
Yeah.
I did a couple of those. Whoa.
Like it's like
multiple.
Cause once you lose control, it's over. Like you're going down.
Nah, it was
You way too big to be falling on skates at this point. Though.
Yeah,
Like,
that
we
shit
too
gonna
old.
hurt.
We too
That's what I'm
old
thinking
and
about.
too
The
big.
impact on the ground. That
gonna
shit's
happen.
gonna fucking hurt.
It's gonna happen if you
I'm
if you
thinking
get
of
out there for a minute.
That's one of them tool
So
concussions.
when you was young,
Your ass be sleeping in the middle of the skate
hips
rink.
and
when
shit.
you was young, you
They
could
gonna
fall
stop
all the
the
time.
music.
You get right back up, ain't nothing. Brush that shit off. I fall now. I might be done for the week.
Yeah, every
Like,
time I take a lap, I'd see one of the kids on the ground, thumbs up. I'm good. I'm good because I
Bounce
can't
like that.
stop.
As soon as I hit the ground one time, that's it for me.
Yep. Wrap it up. Y'all have a good
That's
time.
my
I'm
cue.
sit over here.
Yeah,
And
A
look
lot
down
of
the
that
section.
stuff I realized, man. Like I took my kids to the jump park one time, and I decided to give me an hour too. Mm-hmm. Man, that was probably 59 minutes too long. Seriously, I was sweating bullets out that motherfucker. I'm like, I can't jump for an hour straight. What was I thinking?
I think
That's
it's.
insane. 15 minutes in, I was exhausted.
Ain't got that
Yeah.
energy, bro.
I think there's like you train for whatever sport you play. I feel like kids are just naturally trained to jump and run and do all this
Yeah,
shit.
all
'Cause that's
day.
what my body's not trained to jump anymore.
I don't know about now. These kids inside the house now, but
This is true.
back then, like you had to keep up. We was moving in the city. Like you was on a bike, you was on something, some type of transportation on
Mad
wheels.
different
but I didn't
wheels.
want a car. Yeah. And that should keep you in shape. You,
Bro, when
you
I
stay in
first-
shape all summer long.
I thought I had a car when I first got a bike.
I can go anywhere.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, I
How
got
far
a bike.
away?
Shit, it was just me and Rome. One of us got a bike. We both had a bike. That's what we said. Shit, we got pegs. We can go anywhere, bro.
Y'all was pegging each other.
Right.
Stop
Hey,
it, bro.
yo. That's
Stop it, bro.
crazy.
Stop it,
I
man.
was gonna hit you with a tandem bike, and then you just
Nah,
kept making
nah,
it. You kept
bro.
making it worse.
Yeah,
Like, what was I
that's
supposed to
wild.
do?
Bro.
That's
You
wild.
crossed the line.
That's wild.
You crossed the motherfucking line now.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Damn, that was crazy.
I'm gonna
But
lean
yeah,
back over
yeah.
this way for a little bit.
Oh man.
Yeah, the bike life was heavy.
It was a good time. We had fun. We had fun doing that. And then a couple nights ago, I think it was Friday night, I was sitting at the house. I was watching TV. It was late at night. It was like 2:00. I was getting ready to go to bed. And like when I went to put the footrest down and get up, I seen this mouse come running across my living room.
Shit.
I ain't gonna lie to you, son. I jumped up on the couch. I jumped up on the couch and then went over the back of the couch to go into the kitchen to grab the broom. I was ready to just knock that motherfucker across the room. He was gone. I don't know where he is.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't
He ain't
seen him
gone.
since.
He ain't gone. He just,
Yeah,
he
it's
just
true.
hid, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
He
Nah,
didn't
nah.
head out. He just saw you. Oh, shit.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I come home, I turn on the light, take a look
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Are you out?
Looking under the bed and shit.
You might as well go ahead and get you some
I
traps,
gotta
bro.
get a trap. I
Yeah,
gotta
get
get
a
a
trap.
Get
trap.
you some traps,
But
bro.
I-
Because he is definitely not gone.
Yeah.
Those shits fuck you up.
I ain't
You
gonna
ever
lie
seen,
to you.
you ever seen a mouse on a trap?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I don't think so.
Oh, when
Pretty
they get
inhumane.
caught.
It's like,
I ain't worried
It's
about that at
Straight
all.
snap they shit.
Not
you be like, no,
concerned.
a lot of the times the motherfucker still be alive and
Yeah.
just stuck and shit. You
That's
know,
what
like,
I've heard.
It's pretty fucked up. And I'm just gonna throw your ass in the garbage.
Yeah,
alive.
not concerned at all. Throw it in the garbage alive.
What do you do with it?
I would throw it outside. You gonna have it back in your house again.
I mean, like in the dumpster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, ain't like you don't get out the trap.
Yeah, that motherfucker stuck for life.
Oh, in the
He's gonna
trap.
slowly
That's
die,
true.
yeah,
No,
he'll
that's
slowly
true. I'm
die
still
in the
throwing
trap.
it outside.
Yeah.
Just get it out of my house. But yeah, I'm not a critter person. I don't fuck with animals. None of them.
I don't fuck with no fucking rodents.
No, definitely not.
No, I know my daughter want a hamster and shit. I'm like, never. You're not getting a hamster or
You fuck with
gerbil.
hamsters?
I'm not. Man, it's a rodent.
I'm kind of with you.
I mean, technically, it's not like a
Not the same.
a rat.
I don't think of it as the same,
me,
but
it
it's
is
close
the same.
enough.
If I put it in my hand, it is. If I see you see that motherfucker randomly run across your floor, it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with
Yeah,
that.
randomly.
You'd be like,
happy with that.
motherfucker with no weasels. But motherfucker got some
Good
weasels.
point.
You'd be like, what the fuck? Why? Why you got weasels?
Ferret.
They,
I knew somebody had a ferret while I was growing
ferrets.
up.
That's what I
the
meant.
one.
That's what I meant.
The ferrets
No,
is
as soon
fucking
as he
wild.
said it, it clicked
That's
what you were saying.
I didn't mean weasels. I meant ferrets.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers stink,
I
man.
had some wild white boys in my neighborhood, bro. I had this white dude had a
Oh,
ferret.
personally
he had a
had
fucking
one.
ferret. Yeah.
Oh, I never
Bring
heard
that
that.
shit
A
out.
lot
That
of people
motherfucker was
have
fast
ferrets.
as
Bro.
shit.
My science teacher in
I was gonna say,
middle
I
school used to
remember-
have like 2 ferrets and shit. She used to let the motherfuckers run around the room and shit.
I remember like random elementary school teachers having pets
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah,
and that's
facts.
where you would hear something like a ferret. I never heard of an individual. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
just had a
fuck with
fucking
none of
ferret.
that kind of shit. I don't like squirrels like that.
I don't like them, but they stay away. Any animals that come up to me that are not pets, I'm not gonna lie to you, son. I ain't the tough guy.
My dad
something
used to feed them
get me out of
squirrels
here.
and shit.
Oh, that's
Something
wild.
different.
Feeding them peanuts and
That's wild.
pecans and shit.
Oh, yeah.
for
So he
real.
trying to make him come back.
He got names.
Yeah,
He'll
he
always
started
come
feeding
back when
them.
you start
Bro,
feeding.
always there. Yeah. You be sitting on the porch chilling, he'll pop up like, what's up?
Yeah. This the
name-
crib
his
they
name
looking
Charlie.
out at. Go
He
back
got
and
a
tell his
name and
boys.
everything.
Go back and tell their boys. This the crib they looking out
Y'all
at.
got
Come
the
with me.
fire spot.
Come with me. They hook us up, bro.
That's they feeding that motherfucker up. Like, yo, stop doing that. But he retired and shit. He need a dog or something.
I would say so. Yeah, I think if he's making friends with the wild squirrels, he needs a dog. So. Fuck it, give him a cat. I mean, you gotta get something.
Something.
That's funny.
Yeah, but other than that, pretty normal week for me.
Hell yeah.
So what were you watching? What's all the stuff you've been
Well,
getting into?
I started off watching this show called fucking Hijack with Idris Elba on Apple Plus. That shit is fire.
Apple Plus is so weird. They be keeping the stuff is secret.
It's
I
they
don't
kind
even
of do,
hear
and
the
they got
names.
like about 4 or 5. I ain't got to all of them. It's probably like 4 or 5 shows that I'm hearing like some good
They're
shit
all
from.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them are good. I really like their content a lot. I think it's like creative too. Like all the plots and schemes.
Everything different.
Right.
There's a lot of
It's
different
just a lot of
shows.
variants.
It's just weird how little I hear it talked about.
Right, yeah, you don't see anybody like repost them
They
Nah,
or
like-
anything like that. Like,
And there's random shows that I'll get into that like I don't have personal friends that watch it and stuff, so I'm not seeing it on Facebook. We go on Twitter and it's like everybody's talking about
Right.
this show.
Or-
Apple TV is not like that. I don't
TikTok,
see
too.
anybody talking about shit.
but I mean, normally when I
Yeah,
engage
they own
with
the
people
shits.
though, like when I just talk to people randomly, they are in
With
tune
Apple?
to it. Yeah, they know about it, but I guess it's just not seen a lot.
It's kind of weird.
On social media and stuff. Like I said, I don't see a lot about the shows that I've watched on there, but I mean, apparently a lot of people do because
I've never
they
heard
do
of a
have
bad
some
one.
big shows. Like Ted Lasso is a pretty big thing. you
That's
know?
probably the biggest one that I'm aware of that did kind of like
branch out. Yeah, because you'll see
Yeah.
motherfuckers just randomly dressed up as like Ted Lasso or
Right.
some shit.
They got a big gift game. People
Right,
be
that
drop-
believe
drop-
sign. People
yeah.
have that shit in their house
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is like they got major fans with
So
They got some
Hijack,
good
you say?
content.
Hijack. That
And
shit
what's
is
a
good.
general premise?
General is about Idris Elba, of course, the main character. He like a big time negotiator for like world businesses and shit. He gets the job done and shit like that. So he ended up getting on his plane. He's trying to go see his ex-wife and his son. It's a plane. Flight from not London, Dubai to London, like 7-hour flight. The shit gets hijacked, of course. That's kind of the theme of it.
Okay.
The plane gets hijacked, and he decides that he's just going to go up to the dudes and tell them, like, I want to help you. I'll get through this shit. Because I'm just trying to get home. So basically, he ends up trying to help them. But of course, he kind of finagles it to where he's helping himself so he can
both
be able to
sides
get them
a
out
little
the
bit.
plane. Yeah, playing real. So
That
some
sounds
good shit
solid.
like that.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it's real intense. That shit tight. I like how they
I mean, yeah, it's just him problem solving,
Negotiate.
troubleshooting is like,
Right.
Yeah,
the best
basically.
situation for me is to
Yeah.
negotiate
Yeah.
and to get myself on the other side of this thing.
Yeah, so he basically forced himself to be like the middleman between the hijackers and the people on the plane.
Is a full season out or it's still
It's ongoing, which I was kind of mad about. I thought the whole shit was out. It's
No,
on
they
like
normally do week by week
5
releases.
episodes out. I got to the 5th one, turned on the 6th one. It was like, oh, Wednesday drop. I'm like, all right. Fuck. So,
It'll fuck you up because
it's
it
still
looks
going.
like it's an episode there.
Yeah, they
or
don't
something.
show it until you
Yeah,
press
it'd be
the
like a
button on
trailer
it.
or
Yeah.
some shit.
So I'm like, all right. So it's ongoing first season, but it's good. It's a good show.
Do you think that has anything to do with why it's not as popular online?
Because they don't release the full seasons.
Yeah.
Probably so. People are binge watching.
But it's smart though, because
Yeah,
this
I
is a
think so,
very
too.
bingeable show. Like, I could have
Right.
finished the shit this weekend.
And
No
it
problem.
keeps people coming back.
Yeah.
So rather than
problem.
watching 8 hours of that, you're gonna come back every week, and they're gonna keep feeding you trailers for other shows. Yeah, that's a way better model.
It's better. Smart.
I mean, it sucks for us. I'd rather binge it, but
Right.
it's
for
a
sure.
smarter
I
business.
mean, you just
model.
wait a little bit. and you
Yeah.
can do
That's
that,
what I
but-
do. Yeah.
That's a good show.
What else you
on
got?
What else was on there? Another show on there called Swagger. It's all right. It's a decent show. It's
I've
like a
skipped that
basketball
a bunch.
show.
Yeah, I've skipped that a bunch.
It's like a
of
basketball show. What's his name? O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son. He playing like the coach on it. Coaching it. It's basically showing like how the basketball kids circuit is in the DMV, and this basically teams going against each other. It's on some like the way it's shot is tight. Like they really playing ball. Like it ain't some, like somebody shooting and they making it go in type shit. It's like cats on there that can really hoop, and that shit tight. It's dope. It's decent. Kind of
That's what's
cheesy, almost like what's that show? What's the Netflix football joint? All American. It's kind of All American-ish, but it's dope.
What did you say it was called?
Swagger.
Yeah, it has that vibe. It sounds like a kid show.
Yeah, I mean it's not a kid show per se, but it is also not like
friendly.
explicit either.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I ain't got nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But
but it's a decent show.
interesting.
What y'all got? I watched some other shit too. I was watching shows, bro.
Hey, hit us with the list.
That,
You mentioned the
that fucking
Steph
movie
joint.
that they cloned Tyrone.
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
watch. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So anybody that's listening, we are going to discuss that in depth next week.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch it. Carl and Moss have, but yeah,
Yep.
we will be doing that in depth. So if you're interested in it, check it out, and we'll cover that next week.
Yeah, everybody
It looks
check
good.
that out.
Looks really good.
Definitely check it out. That, and we'll get into that. And I finished that Steph Curry movie.
What
on
is
Apple
that
too.
specifically about?
It's basically like a life story.
They're doing full life. thing. Okay, that's what I was curious.
Pretty much a life story from kid.
What is
all
that
the way
streaming
up
on?
until
Netflix.
it's on Apple. That's on Apple
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah. Apple
Okay.
TV too. Yeah.
They had did they have like a big soundtrack for that? Or did I just see like a random single
know.
somebody had done for that documentary?
Yeah, I don't know about soundtrack.
Gotcha.
But it's pretty good though. It's as recent as it goes all the way to the last championship when they beat us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's when it goes to that point.
It's like a documentary movie or it's a series?
It's a documentary movie.
Okay.
Yeah, a doc movie.
I like that. I might check it out. Maybe not soon, but you know,
Come on, that's your guy. You was all
One
hype.
day before you die.
Yeah.
I'll check it out one day. Yeah,
I mean, that's your guy. What you mean? You
I am-
it's nothing.
I
You was
am
all hype about
surprised.
it.
I mean, I feel like I've watched the
Have
Steph
Mahomes
Curry
and
story, so it's
quarterbacks.
like I feel like I gotta separate myself
Really?
a little bit.
You
Where
seen-
at?
Yeah, where you seen the story at?
Just saying, like, I mean, we kind of lived through it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we kinda-
we've lived his career, obviously, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen any like.
It gets way more in depth than you've ever seen his whole life.
It seems
story.
like we
It's
had that for a lot
him
of
walking
players.
you through how
He's
he
not
was like
one.
5'6" and trying to make it on a team, and Davidson was the only team to pick. That really brings you up through all
But
that
I've seen
shit
that.
going
I've seen
on.
that story before.
I mean, all right,
Like on YouTube.
but you ain't seen it in detail.
Maybe not. Maybe
From
maybe not.
all the people that was involved, like his teammates, dad, and
sure,
everybody.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
it got everybody from his whole past in it. Pretty
Does it
much.
show much of him as a kid with dad?
The beginning of it does.
I was a
Because
little
the
bit
beginning
curious
of it,
about that type
It like
of stuff.
started
yeah.
off with just how he even got his shot. Because he was so small, so he used to shoot from down here and shit. Because he was the smallest person on the court, so it was him. It was started off just talking about the training that he put him through to change the shot, and he almost gave up on that shit because he was on some shit like, you can't even shoot outside the paint for the next 3 months. Like, he was on that. This is how we gonna change your shot type
Yeah.
shit. Like,
That's how you pick up your arc, though.
Yeah.
If you want to.
so that's what he was doing. That's how he changed his shit and got his shit on. So that part was dope. And then you get in the details of the fucking shit that he went through just trying to get on the team and all that. And how he almost didn't become who he was. Pretty much in college, like his first year.
That's solid. I'm gonna check
What?
that out. I don't have Apple. That is one of the only ones I don't have, and I know that there's other good stuff, but like there's only been Ted Lasso's the only thing I was like super intent on watching. I'm gonna have to turn that one on though.
Do they mention when he ever hit like a growth spurt or anything?
Yeah. He hit it in he didn't hit till he was actually in college.
At Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was like, yeah, he was like, how many seasons? I think it was it 3 seasons or 2 seasons? I think it was 2 seasons at the college at Davidson or whatever. Yeah, so he didn't hit that till he was there. When he brought in, he was still under 6 feet when they scouted him.
I can't even remember who it was that I read this about. I feel like I saw two though recently of guys that were either drafted this year or last year. Probably last year.
Yeah, so it happens every season.
That have grown 2 or 3 inches since coming into the league.
It happens every
because they're
season.
19 years old. Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny to think about a
damn
team
grown.
drafting
I mean,
a
most
6'5"
people-
dude that turns out to be 6'8". It's
Right.
like, oh hell yeah.
I mean, I know genetics is a play in this, but I also think just like environment has something to do with it as well too. It's almost like a demand for their body to grow a little bit bigger. I don't know. You know, I just
That's
feel like
weird.
because the normal,
Being around tall people.
I'm just saying, like the normal 19-year-old motherfucker, ain't growing 3 inches over the summer. You know what I'm saying? It just normally don't happen for people that you see
I don't think
on a
it's-
day-to-day basis.
And you don't normally see people go to the NBA either. So the
Yeah.
ones that do get
Well,
that.
I'm saying, but I feel like their
that?
bodies have to adapt to it or something like. Oh, an extra inch or so won't hurt. I don't know. I think it's odd that it happens pretty often though. Like you can find this story pretty much every offseason of some rookie player that grew 2 or 3 inches over the offseason. I remember it happened to Ben Simmons.
I think it's probably more common nowadays because of them getting in so early. I think most people are probably close to their full size at 18, but like getting a little bit taller at 19, I don't think sounds nuts.
No, I mean it's not out. You supposedly don't stop growing until you're like 24 or something or whatever.
Early 20s,
Some people-
21, 22, something like
Well,
that.
yeah, so I don't know exactly, but it's just I don't know. It's not a very common thing, and it's just it's weird to think a motherfucker who's 6'6" needed a couple more inches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how about this motherfucker who's 5'8" down here? Look out for him a little bit. Like, why can't he get a couple more? Probably because he, stacking boxes in the warehouse and not trying to dunk on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference
Gotta hang
genes.
out
of
with
environment. You know,
Gotta hang out with taller people.
maybe it's that.
It's in the genes.
Hang out with the trees for a day or two, bro.
Anything else that you've been watching?
And I've been
What you
on.
got?
I've been watching so much Dragon Ball Z. It's crazy, bro. That's all I've been watching every
That's
day,
funny.
bro. Dragon Ball. I got the whole family watching the shit. Like we are invested in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
That's dope. You got the whole family on
The
it.
whole family, Kamehamehas and shit around the house at random.
I don't know shit about
Carter
that.
don't know how to say Kamehameha, so he'd be like, hee ha, hee ha. It's hilarious.
That's funny as shit.
Hee ha.
Yo.
Yeah, we going in. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've really been watching recently. And of course that movie. But that's it.
Oh, shit.
That's what's up.
Great storyline. They got to make a movie. Or I envision it actually being a live action TV show. You got to do it. Somebody has to do it.
Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball
Z.
Z.
Yeah, they got to do it, bro. I mean, like, what
I'm
you
surprised
what,
they haven't done that
what you
yet.
waiting
I
on?
am too.
What you waiting on?
They did it
It's
for
the
everything
biggest
else.
anime series of all time.
Yeah, they did it for everything else. That makes sense.
Do you want him to do it?
Absolutely, they did a movie already. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, okay.
Somebody has to redeem this. You can't. It's one of those storylines
That's
that's
probably
like
why it
it's
hasn't
so
been done again.
long and complex. You can't fit it into a movie.
Yeah.
But wouldn't
Like-
that take away from the anime? Because the thing
You
is,
do
it
live
wouldn't be
action.
anime if you turn it to live action to real people, then it's not anime.
Yeah, you're kind of a sellout to the anime
I
community.
don't give a fuck.
It might be a
I don't want to see
why
that
didn't
shit
you
in
do it?
live action like everybody else wants to see Little Mermaid and fucking
Nah, but-
Aquaman and Batman. I want to see all these motherfuckers in live action.
My argument dies when you get into the superheroes, but the live action Disney movies, none of them are that good.
Yeah, they haven't been that good at
I
all.
don't think any of them hold up.
You still want to see it though.
And
Most people-
not anymore, I don't.
Most people who are fans of that film or movie,
tried to.
you still want to see it. Man, come on.
But that's how they get you, though.
Yeah.
Then you
yeah.
watch, oh, this shit was fucking
I mean,
trash.
I
Yeah,
watched
that's so
They get you off
that's
the
how they got me to
nostalgia.
watch the first Dragon Ball movie.
Oh,
Because it was
right.
fucking Dragon Ball, even though it looked like it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it looked like fucking Nickelodeon or
That,
something.
that nostalgia will get you in the door.
I can't think of. I don't know something off the top of my head that's as popular as that is that I know as little about.
Really?
I know nothing about anime. Zero.
I'm not.
feel the
I'll
same way
hear a
about
couple of
only-
names that I recognize, but I legitimately know nothing.
I've only ever watched 2 anime shows, and that's Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. That's the only ones.
I thought
Those
that
are
was
like
the
the
same
starter
thing.
kit anime shows too, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like if you
yeah.
know anime, you gotta know those.
I thought those were the
That's
same thing.
Normally get people started. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's those two, and then
Makes
a lot of
sense.
people on that One Punch Man or one something, whatever that is. They watch that a lot, but I don't.
IP
I've never.
Man.
I've seen maybe an episode of that.
I think it's IP Man, right?
No, that's an actual.
That's a movie.
Martial
There's
arts
like
film.
3 of those. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was the
Supposed to
same
be
thing.
based on a true character or something.
Gotcha.
I like that one. I like the movies.
What's
Man,
Is it
Dragon
IP
Ball
Man?
Z?
Is that the same person I'm
It's
thinking
Ip
about?
Man. Ip Man.
Ip, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Ip Man,
Ip
yeah.
or IP, whatever.
I've
Yeah.
only seen the title, so I just read it. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
That was an
It's Ip
anime?
Man. No,
No, I'm
Oh.
confusing everything.
Oh, okay, all right.
Anything that
But those
is
movies was-
Japanese
was
or fighting, I just put it all into the same category.
No, yeah.
Cool.
The only one I've ever been curious about is pretty like highly rated, highly talked about Death Note.
I think, is that on Netflix?
Yeah,
I've seen it. I'm not really that anime type of guy.
not really.
The
I
only
tried
reason
to
why
be.
I watch Dragon Ball Z and shit because it's like nostalgic. It's like part of my childhood and shit. Like I grew up watching that shit, and it's really a good storyline. But I'm not invested in anime enough to just check out new anime.
Yeah.
Normally. So, but it is pretty cool because it's adult cartoons. It's like it's bloodshed. Is some inappropriate jokes made and shit like stuff like that. It's not made for children. So I think it's cool, but I'm just not into it like that to be able to reel off a whole bunch of anime series and shit or sagas.
Right.
That's what a lot of people will call them.
Fair enough. Nostalgia plays.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of nostalgia playing,
What we got?
that Barbie joint is going crazy, son.
Yeah, I'm
Bitches really dressing up for this motherfucker.
I'm going to see it this weekend.
Oh, really?
Oh, are you dressing up? Are you going to your
I'm
kid
not dressing
uniform?
up, but the youngin' want to see it. It's her birthday this week, so
You gotta wear pink, bro. You gotta go all pink.
I don't even think pink.
You gotta go Cameron.
You could be a Kendrick rather than Ken.
I got you. I got you. I got you, bro.
You got me what?
You said you don't own anything pink. I got you.
I don't.
I got you.
I don't need it though. I'm good.
Bro, I got you,
I don't
bro.
think I need it. Bro.
How do you feel
What's
about
up?
going to see this? I just watched the trailer for the movie today.
I mean, I have no interest whatsoever.
Of course.
But I didn't have any interest in the Little Mermaid much either. But
That seems so much more tolerable, though.
it was.
This trailer looks
was.
horrible.
Like this barbershop, I'm like, this is gonna like be painful,
know, right?
It's gonna be painful.
You
But
better
hey,
be
we gonna
glad
go
it's
see
your
it.
birthday.
We're gonna go see it and check it out and see what's up. Hey, I might be surprised because since my hopes are so low, it might surprise me. But
Apparently,
I
Ken
doubt
is
it.
gay. Somebody said.
He also has no dick.
That explains a lot.
Well, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that. I think Ryan Gosling's a decent actor, but
I think all of them are decent.
Margot Robbie, I'm not mad at looking at that.
Margot
She
Robbie.
looked like Barbie to me.
But
Yeah,
that trailer just looked so
They should have got
bad.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh, my God.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, it would have made it a
She
lot
is a
more
Barbie.
tolerable.
Yeah, she only got to talk. Like, let's be a real Barbie. Don't say anything.
But
Barbie
yeah.
never had one of them action buttons, like try me buttons on there. Barbie don't say shit. That's what the movie should be about.
Throat me.
Barbie's a mute. We got to teach her how to speak English.
That's funny. But yeah, not too excited about that, but it is blowing up.
I expected
people talk about
I expected a lot of people to go see it and stuff, but I have been shocked at how many people I see going all dressed up and
Oh, yeah.
with a pack of people and stuff, and then you're seeing some of the numbers like it's massive.
The influence Barbie has
Makes sense.
is crazy. Barbie been out for over 50 years now,
Right.
Something like that.
and
Probably
it's
more.
still like a premium toy for little girls to buy.
So every generation of girls
Yeah.
has an appreciation for this.
Yeah, it's crazy the reach it has, like you said, generationally. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected, but I didn't know people were dressing up for the shit like it was Black Panther or something.
Right.
I didn't get the memo on that
it's
either.
kind of like a
but
theme for a lot of these movies now, though, right?
It does
Like
seem
Mario,
to be that way.
People's dressing up like Mario and shit.
really, I didn't see that as a big deal though.
Well-
Like this Barbie thing seems huge.
I wonder if any of that has to do with it. Seems like the only movies that I hear about in theaters are like these
Nostalgia
movies. So you're getting all the people that want to dress up in Marvel characters. It was a big thing when the Harry Potter movies were still coming out. Barbie, Mario, Luigi, whatever.
Minions.
It seems like, I don't know. I can't imagine doing that for like a regular movie. You know what I'm saying?
Like for Minions?
No, like for if like a regular movie comes out, nobody's gonna be going to dress up, but they keep giving you all these like really massive nostalgic
because of the
things.
characters.
Yeah,
the nostalgic characters people want to dress up as them. So it's been happening a lot. So I get it. Whatever. You like it, I love it. You gonna dress up? You going?
Absolutely not. I'm not going. Absolutely.
What if your daughter says she want to see it?
She has a mom and a stepmom.
Wow,
that's perfect.
She has an aunt as well.
What if she wants you to go too?
I would do that.
See,
I mean, I'm not opposed to taking
her. Act
her.
like you be like, no, I'm not going. Like, just like, chill out.
No, I'm not opposed to taking
somebody else.
Like, chill out.
You know, if it's up to me, we're going to go see something else, of course.
right. That's not your first choice.
But I mean, I don't know. I heard it. I don't know if it's really for my daughter's age group. I think
That's
a lot
what
of the
I've
stuff might go over her head a little bit, or I think she knows a little bit more shit than I'm catching on.
They
to.
always do, bro.
Yeah, because there's some shit that pop up. I'm like, how the fuck you know about that?
Yeah, they always do.
So
They pay
yeah,
attention,
I've been
bro.
watching
They
her
paying
real.
attention.
I've been watching her real close lately and shit. Trying to pick her brain a little bit and figure out what she knows. But
that's funny because with the nieces and nephews in town, this is the first time that I've noticed my oldest niece. I think she's 8.
yeah, same age as my daughter.
8-ish.
So they're probably in the same realm.
First time I noticed when we watch movies, she's like, "Oh, is she gonna kiss him?" And like, there's like an interest in male-female relationship. I was like, "Oh, I'm not commenting on this at all. This is my sister's issue." But first time I've ever noticed, she's like, "Oh, the beast turned into a really handsome man. I wonder if they're gonna kiss." I'm like, no comment.
Like how you know what a handsome man is.
A handsome
That's
man.
a beast to you.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it's funny seeing as they grow up. But yeah, fuck Barbie. Oppenheimer. Y'all got any interest in that?
I really didn't know what it was when you put it in there. Pause. But that shit crazy.
Holy
But
Hey, I got an odd shape. I'm gonna be honest.
That's crazy.
One of them egg shapes.
when you put it in the chat, I didn't know what you was talking about. What that was. One of my homeboys was talking about it earlier. It's like some war movie or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically it's the story of the atomic bomb.
Okay.
Okay. I've seen something posted about that, but I haven't checked out the movie.
Yeah, I heard about
Is it out? Like, is it in the theaters or something, or is it?
Yeah, so there was, I don't know, from what I've heard, this was like a relatively organic thing where people, the release dates for Barbie and Oppenheimer were supposed to be the same day. And they started to be talked about online together. And there was a hashtag Barbenheimer. And it like became a big thing that it was kind of all over the internet. People were calling it that. And a lot of people were buying tickets for both shows and seeing both movies back to back. Neither studio is involved, but once it took off, they're like, "Fuck it, promote those bitches together."
Yeah, it's probably numbers
going
going
up.
we both or whatever it is.
Hell yeah,
It's great for them.
It's like 50 versus Kanye.
Yeah,
Everybody gonna win.
low key was.
Everybody
I mean,
gonna win.
literally what it was. I think the trailer and stuff looks kind of cool. You know, we talked plenty of times about the based on a true story is always interesting or whatever. But Christopher Nolan being the director seals it for me.
Okay.
How familiar are y'all with him?
A little bit.
I can't like name the movies that he's done.
Name sounds familiar as hell.
Bro, the list of movies that he directed is just retarded. All 3 of the Dark Knight movies, Interstellar, Inception, Dunkirk,
Inception,
The Prestige, Memento is like earlier 2000s, but Tenet was him. I still never watched that one, but I think he's one of the best, if not the best director, like of all time. So I got to check it out. But I've heard it was a good movie.
Hey, Dark Knight, sold.
Can't go wrong, right?
Classic.
Sold.
It's a classic.
Yeah, but one of these days, probably won't see it in the theater, so it might be a while before I watch it.
Where we gotta get into music?
Yeah.
Where we at? Oh,
Pick
RP.
any one of the topics you want.
Let's get the RPs out the way first, man. Shout out to Gillie's son.
Yes.
Was it YGN?
I have no idea what.
I always
Cheese?
just saw him call us Cheese.
Cheese.
That's how
It's
I
something
know.
like type of YGN. The guy in front of him and his brother, they got like a group. But YG and Cheese got killed over the weekend.
Shot, right?
Along with
Philly.
like three other people or something. Some type of shooting.
I think he was the only one who died, though.
Mm.
There's some other people that got hit, but
Yeah, that shit
I think he
crazy.
was the only one who passed.
I hadn't heard.
That shit crazy. But yeah.
Has Gillie spoken about it, though?
Nah,
not at all.
Wallow been doing most of the talking on it.
Yeah,
That's what
I've
I've seen.
I've been periodically checking in on Gillie's page like every day, just seeing if he had
Yeah, I seen he
anything to
posted a
say.
picture. It was like all the Philly legends that you could think of was like in a picture with him, came chilling with
really?
Gillie, and like they were kicking it, whatever. So yeah, that's dope. They got the whole city coming in and showing love, knowing how big Gillie is to Philly,
Yeah.
and so with his show and all that shit. So
I mean, anytime
Shouts out to
somebody
them.
gets shot, obviously it's a sad situation.
yeah,
It feels even worse just because it's like
they up right now.
every time you see videos, it's almost like you know Wallow and Gillie.
Yeah,
Like the way they communicate. Like it feels like you know them.
yeah, we're
So
impressive.
it feels like it's a little bit closer to home. And obviously with their message being what it is, constantly like trying to talk to people about getting out of the streets and the dangers of the streets and that kind of thing. And I had mentioned to y'all in the chat, like it was like a couple hours before it happened, like the most recent videos from Gillie were him like hype as shit getting ready for Gillie
Fest, yeah.
Yeah, Gillie Fest that they're about to put on. This is their first one, right?
This is the second one I want to say.
Second one?
I think
But
it's
this
the
one
second.
is a lot bigger as
Yeah.
far as like the artists and stuff that they've
Yeah,
got.
yeah. It's
So
growing.
it seems like it's about to be a huge thing. He's hyping up the Gillie Fest, and then like just thinking about the mindset he's in that night. So hyped for this event about to come up, and then to get that news, just I don't know, man. It's got to be
Crazy.
the worst thing you could ever find out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's terrible news. Definitely not anything any parent wants to hear. I just wonder how, like you said, I guess his son ended up in this situation. I don't know his circumstance or like the person he wanted to be or was trying to be. I know he's a rapper or whatever, but I don't know how he portrayed himself.
Yeah, I
and
don't
carried
know much
himself.
I think he
or
was
anything
in the
like
streets a little bit.
that. Right, I just wonder.
Gillie
how-
talked about him son and shit being in the streets too, and he was talking about getting.
All right, yeah. I
getting
just
shit.
wonder how with Gillie being who he was. I get that he was raised around the streets, but was he really raised in them? I don't know. I don't know his backstory like
Probably.
that.
I would think
but
so.
it just seemed like so many people want to get out there and play in them so much when you don't really. Yeah,
Necessarily have to.
you don't have to put yourself in those situations.
Yeah.
A lot of people live their life by circumstance. So if those aren't your circumstances, I feel like, and those might be. I don't know. His life story.
I mean,
again,
I'm pretty
but-
sure a lot of their family is still in them hoods in Philly or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they always have been there. So
Do either
You
of
never
y'all
know
know
who we be
anything
around.
about what happened?
I don't know what
Like
actually happened.
Is there? Yeah, I don't
No,
think anything's
no.
been said. I don't know if it was like
It's all
a
very
retaliation thing.
They
Is
said
it he's
just
in
a
the wrong
shooting.
place?
Yeah, just a shooting.
who
Yeah.
knows?
shooting, and I don't know if enemies, whatever. I'm sure more to come on that.
Yeah.
We'll find out something. But
Yeah, it's just sad.
sure, it sucks for him and his family and stuff, and they'll probably take a good break from the podcast. I'm sure before
Hopefully.
coming back and talking about it, because that's got to be kind of your first episode, right? Is addressing some of that. You can't just put out one of those episodes you got in the vault, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, throw out this interview we got, and people going there clicking on it, and it's like, no, we want to hear about you talk about this shit. It's kind of fucked up from a consumer or like a
Well,
fan base.
I think that is
perspective,
kind of
but-
what happened.
That's everybody though.
Is that what he did? That's
Well,
what they did?
I've been seeing like the last couple of days. I've seen them sharing clips of one that they did, an interview they did with the baby.
That's new.
Oh,
They
okay.
actually just dropped that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe so.
But that was
Yeah.
before it had happened.
Was it? I don't know if it was before.
I just assumed because
For real, 'cause I
I
think
just
seen
assumed because
like,
it came
the
out,
other
it
day.
had to have been before.
Yeah,
but I could
right,
be wrong.
Right. I'm thinking they probably already had that.
But you're right though. It's like it's a weird thing because like, just as fans of the podcast, it's like
No.
any idea when you're putting the next podcast
Right,
out like
right,
that.
right,
That's
right, right.
that's
They
why
just
we're
dropped it
fans or
a day
whatever.
ago. Ain't been a whole day yet. They
Yeah.
just dropped yesterday, so it was afterwards.
Gotcha.
But I'm saying they probably recorded that.
Oh
well
yeah,
before,
yeah,
you know
of
what I'm
course,
saying?
yeah.
They had that saved.
But anytime I'm going to look at his page, like I'm not expecting him to say anything.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, don't
Yeah, Gillie probably ain't
don't
saying
even
shit.
talk to us for the next month if that's what you
Yeah.
get. Like fuck the fans.
I mean,
That
all of that
doesn't
shit is
matter.
really just that's why I realized like posting like those RIP posts and stuff like that. I mean, it's really just to appease everybody else. I feel like, at a certain point, or kind of one of those things.
When something serious happened, you gotta say something.
Looking, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like almost an obligation to say something about it, and I hate that feeling. Like that's one of the reasons why I got rid of my Facebook for a time. It's just
how you feel about Jamie Foxx? He put out a video explaining like his situation. It's like his first time like talking on the internet.
Well, I mean, that's something personal that happened to that specifically happened to just him. Yeah. So I can get why addressing that, but like when something like a loved one passed or something, I think people are quick to run and like post a status about it or something. I get that. I don't know. To me, it's almost attention grabby type thing, and I know that might not even be that person's intentions. They might just want to feel some love. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody wants different.
Everybody does different things, but I always thought it was slightly weird behavior too.
I think the same thing, because if you
got something I gotta address with you, we'll move down later on when we get to sports or something, maybe.
Oh, I'm curious.
All right,
about this.
I know what it is.
I've
been waiting for somebody to say it.
Sorry.
When you got 50, if you
I've
got
been waiting for somebody to say it.
you got 50 people sharing that same thing, I know for a fact that at least 45 of those people are attention seeking.
Right.
There's gonna be a
fuck,
handful of people that like truly are just in a spot. They don't know what else to do. They need to share it and.
But those people have
with
contacted you personally.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. The
but
people
I'm saying,
who really care,
just from like an outside perspective,
Right,
you can't tell which one is the one that are just attention seeking.
Sure.
But most of this is bullshit.
Yeah,
That shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, I'm not with all of it. Like I'll like post something like for my mom's birthday or something like that normally. Just the only reason why I do that, because I mean I don't really give a fuck about everybody else, saying whatever about my mom, whatever, like, hey, happy heavenly birthday. I don't really care about that. I just know it's something that she would have appreciated when she was alive. So that's why I'll do stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm not going out to Facebook looking for a sob story of, woe is me. I feel like people do that shit a lot.
Yeah, it was dope. I mean, since you bring this up, like, I seen the post you made for your mom. I felt.
Yeah, I got it tatted on, bro. That's the same picture right there.
That's hard. Right there. Yeah, I was looking at the picture. I was looking at it. I was like, that's a dope picture of his mom's little young word.
It was a good picture.
I was just looking. I noticed something in the picture, right? I was just looking. I was like, what's that? What do you got on right there? What's that jersey you got on?
Wait a second.
It was like a navy blue jersey, right? I looked at the number. It was
royal blue, whatever.
Navy royal, like it had 21 on it.
21.
And it looked like a retro. It was 22.
It's 22. That's my
retro
number.
jersey. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, that's an old Cowboys jersey he got on right there. That's like a Emmett Smith jersey my man's had on there. How old was you in that picture? Like what, 6, 7, something like that?
I was probably 6.
I was 6, 7. I was thinking like, that's odd, because I know Word to have like a real Steelers household.
Sounds like he might be a front runner.
Yeah, I'm not understanding. Like, why would you have a young pick? Because you always try to come at me and my fandom of my team. So I'm trying to understand this. You ain't never seen me in no other team's jerseys like
first
that.
Of all, I grew up in an era where most of my clothes came from flea markets, and stuff like that.
All right.
Also,
I see the Cardinals playing.
Also,
it's a good move.
Yeah, it's a good.
Go ahead.
I was expecting this kind
of good one.
But also, along with that, if you look at the picture, you notice that my pants in the picture are full of grass stains.
Okay.
This was my play clothes. You remember play clothes? Kids don't have play clothes like that no more.
That's a weaker spin, but I'll take it. But the first one was a better card.
These were my play clothes.
Sure, I got
you. Look at the picture, you'll see the grass stains. Boy was outside playing some football. And I will say that 22 was my number in Little League, so I did gravitate towards players like Emmitt Smith. He was one of my favorite players when I was growing up. Him and Jerome.
All right, I'll let it shit. It was a good explanation, but it threw me off.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
It threw me off. Every time. Was this the thing?
Huh? Yeah, this is the thing.
All right, good.
He did address it with his mom, so I had to go ahead and just go to it now.
I'm too curious. A person that was going to bother me the rest of the pod, just wanting to know what was he getting at.
That was the thing. Once he brought it back up again, I was like, I got to say it now.
I'm glad we got that.
But yeah, all right, I'm glad you explained it, because I was confused. Just a little confused a little bit.
No doubt.
Does it? You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Does it low key bother you when people do comment on that post, like because you're just doing it for yourself?
No, it doesn't bother me, because I mean the people who did comment were
Like family
well, most
and
of them were people who actually knew her and stuff like that too. So I'm cool with that. No, it doesn't bother me at all.
I got you.
I mean, I want people to kind of acknowledge it at the same time too.
Right.
Just for a happy birthday or whatever, but it doesn't mean anything to me necessarily if you do or don't type thing. You know. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
I feel that.
Oh, shit. Shout out to Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, greatest rusher of all time.
What's next? Which one? Which one do we want to go to next?
I mean, since we on Word's neck right now, like, we might as well keep it on your boy.
Let's do it.
That boy Yak out here.
Yeah, I find this insanely interesting.
It is.
Yak
But
attack.
you
It
have
is.
to give us your perspective first, as our Kodak correspondent.
Yeah, Kodak Black.
We're referring
Kodak
to
Black.
the street code and the things
Yeah.
that took place with Gillie and the streets of Philly and nonsense and stuff.
Kodak is
Street code here.
did his feature with,
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
the infamous Tekashi 6ix9ine.
For sure.
Had a little uproar on the internet, So how do you feel about Kodak doing this feature for
This is a
for-
great moment, by the way.
It is.
I just want to say this
Yeah.
is a great
Just a huge moment.
hip hop moment. I think not great might not be the right word, but it is
It's big.
a moment.
It's big.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something for sure. I mean, I think I was surprised when you dropped that clip.
Yeah.
It was no sound. It was.
I thought it
them.
was bullshit
It
because
was
of being
them.
no sound.
Well, they was together in the video, so I knew it wasn't bullshit.
Like somebody be editing crazy shit.
Yeah,
son.
and not that good. Tell you that. So when I saw that, I'm like, interesting.
Right.
And then kind of looking into more of the details of it, listening to the song. To me, it all makes sense. I don't think, because initially you might think this goes against what Kodak's brand would be.
That boy Boosie was in shambles.
I mean, Kodak does have a song about killing the rats. It's a great record, by the way.
Gotcha.
But he's also the finesse kid. That's the first brand that he put out there, and he's also just a motherfucker. You never know what he's gonna do or say next. He's always been that person since he's come into the industry. I think he'll continue to be that person over the course of his career. So yeah, I mean, hey, that's what you got.
That is what you get. That's what you get. It was interesting to me. Because I'm looking at it like, who you think really got finessed in this situation? Or was the finessing mutual?
I
would
think
say mutual.
I think it's mutual, but
Yeah.
if you look at it from
finessing it when it's mutual.
Yeah, I think-
but same idea.
yeah, I don't know if it was a finesse. If you listen to you heard the verse. Y'all heard the verse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to the verse is somewhat of finesse, right? It's
The
like,
part that they cut out, the cheese, right? And
well,
cheese
all
shit.
of it really is a simple verse. It's like 10 bars. Apparently, he said he got paid $1 million for it in the verse, but I've listened to some clips of Whack 100. Of course, he's the one who facilitated the deal. Apparently, he said $2.5 million is an understatement as far as what Kodak got for the verse, and
Damn.
and he said he let him leave with a Rolls Royce. So
Damn.
after he recorded it, so it's like, I mean, seems more beneficial to Kodak than it would be hurtful to him. I don't think his fan base is going to be impacted by it or anything
Power
like
of the
that.
dollar. Power of the
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah. I don't think his fan base is impacted by it or anything like that. I think it's for him, it's probably a pretty good Latin American combination there. So, because when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a straight Latin American song. I didn't think it was going to be hip hop at all. I thought Tekashi was going to get on there and do what he's been doing for the past.
What made you think that?
Because that's what
Tekashi's too smart for that.
Tekashi been doing though, and he
has.
been getting hella numbers. Like his views are still higher than your favorite rapper.
Now with no rap artists though.
No,
been
not with
doing
no
it
rap.
with them,
He been
yeah,
doing it
yeah.
with Latin American artists though, but his views are still like skyrocket on YouTube. He's a really popular Latin American
Yeah,
artist.
he made a
So that's what I thought that's what it was going to be. Kodak does songs like that with Latin American artists. He gets on there and speaks like it's Creole or whatever, he does that. So that's what I thought it was going to be initially, of him just trying to branch out. But it's really just a throwback 6ix9ine song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the song is fire, first of all. But I think the whole thing was so interesting because it's like Tekashi, obviously, since he came back, and he clearly had to go Latin American. Like, he had no
He
foot
tried.
in the door with hip hop anymore.
Yeah.
And after the amount of time that passed that he was doing that, I kind of thought that that was kind of a dream he gave up on and just decided to go the best route that he could. So to have any hip hop artist perform or do a song with him was shocking. And then, of course, for it to be Kodak was shocking and hilarious, given our podcast history. But I think it's even more interesting beyond that because of how many feathers it ruffles.
Yeah,
And the fact that Kodak's not supposed to do it. I kind of looked at it like, from the outside as a non-Kodak fan, from what I see of him, like, to me, his brand is, I do whatever I want, nobody can tell me what to do.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So it is low-key, like, all the
it should be
gangsters
him.
can be mad about the street code being violated, but it's kind of the most gangster thing that you can do to say, I don't care, nobody can tell me nothing, and it's not going to affect me at all.
Well, he's been that way. Like when he came out and shit, and people were saying like he had to pick a side between Dirk and NBA YoungBoy and all of that shit that was going on. He was like, I fuck with both of them. I'm gonna do songs with both of them and shit. Like, I'm not picking no sides. I'm not in none of that. So that's it's on brand of kind of who the person he is. But still surprising to see him do a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine though, for sure.
Definitely.
Yep.
Interesting verse. I think
Reintroduction back to hip hop. Tekashi, it seems like to me.
Well,
What y'all gonna do now? Y'all not gonna do songs with me now after I did one with Kodak?
I wonder who's the next person to do it. Apparently,
somebody else.
It was supposed to be NBA YoungBoy.
Really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be
I
NBA
could also
YoungBoy.
see
And
that too.
Yeah.
apparently, NBA YoungBoy did the song. It was a
man.
different song,
Oh, man.
but Birdman stopped it from happening.
Gotcha.
So
Playboy.
yeah,
that,
he
Playboy.
called the shot on that.
Don't do that, Playboy.
So yeah, it was interesting. But again, when you listen to Kodak's verse, he just spends the entire verse pretty much explaining why he did it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like,
There's a lot
yo,
of those bars.
it's pretty funny when you think about it. I wonder what 6ix9ine thought when he heard it initially. You know, like this dude dissing me on my own track.
Controversy. Put it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he loved it. Just
Yeah,
that,
I don't think
it
it
don't matter
matters.
what he said. Probably
Yeah,
he could have
it
spit
doesn't-
on the track. He didn't give a fuck, right? Like,
It doesn't matter to him. He's
Just putting the name
He's
up
got
there.
this is like the only branch he's been able to latch onto. If he can get anybody to co-sign and help him in any way, I think he's down. And clearly, the amount of money that he paid him,
He's
whatever
spent
it
over
was,
$2.5 million for somebody
says
for a
that.
verse.
Yeah.
You desperate. Whatever they do, you taking
Right.
that
right
shit.
for 10 bars, you know, that's easy money. Yeah, I mean, interesting shit. I guess I will see what happens after this with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm not sure if he'll get any other major looks going forward, but hey, I thought it was Tory Lanez on the hook at first.
It did sound like him.
As soon as you said that, it clicks. But
It
I
did
didn't
sound
think
sounds
about that.
exactly
it
like
sounds
Tory.
fire.
But
Whoever
it's
that was.
actually it's the guy who wrote the song for Tekashi.
Gotcha.
He sung the hook. It was supposed to be for Tory. The hook was
Oh, really?
for Tory, but it was I guess all the Tekashi snitching shit happened.
I did
And
see
then
people saying
the Tory shit happened
Kodak
too. So
did it for Tory. I did see some people saying that shit like that. He did it for Tory.
they are friends though. they
That's
are good
funny.
friends. But yeah, I thought it was Tory Lanez at first, but no, it's just the guy who he wrote. Like, it's a whole reference track. He wrote 6ix9ine's entire verse and everything and all of that shit.
really?
Like, the same exact thing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm like, yo, somebody get that dude a deal. He sounds pretty good.
For real.
The hook is
I
really
liked
what
it.
make the song. You
Yeah.
know? It's a good track, though. But, hey.
Yes, indeed.
Any thoughts on any of the responses back from anybody?
Oh, from Boozy?
That was funny.
Boozy was funny.
I've seen quite a few people
I
talk
don't know
about it.
if I mean, if you feel some type of way about it, I don't know if I can disagree with you. You know, it's like I get why Boozy feels the way he feels about it, but at the same time, I mean, it's not your situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody lives differently. This whole street code thing is kind of it's elementary, especially when we talk about somebody Boozy's age. I mean, again, it's business. Boozy doesn't know who he deals with that has snitched before in the music industry or jewelry industry, whatever it may be. You know, I'm sure you deal with a lot of people who have told on somebody. He's friends with T.I., so I mean, things like that happen. So, you know,
What's T.I. got doing?
you know what T.I. got. He should hop on the next track.
They ironed that out, by the way. Their issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
Cause he I didn't snitch.
Whatever. I'm just saying that's up for debate.
Either way, I do think it's a positive out of the situation because people can stop trying to like infiltrate street politics in the entertainment and rap. Like I think that shit should be separated. I like these cities rappers continue to live out here. So
Yeah.
Kodak gonna do a feature where I'm like, yeah, this is business. He paid him for a feature. He did the fucking feature. This ain't got nothing, like you said in the song. Ain't like we going in on a brick. Like we doing a fucking song. He paid me to do some business.
Right.
Hey, that's what it should be. People can leave that street shit in the streets and try to be a fucking star,
I just
superstar
wonder,
rapper.
like, at what point are you no longer a street nigga? Because that's what Boozy is saying. Like Kodak ain't no street nigga. Like Boozy, you live in a mansion. So it's like, at what point though are you no longer a street nigga though? Like, you know what I'm saying? I get the mentality of it.
Because obviously he's not in the streets doing shit no more.
Right.
So your principles are your principles. I ain't against
But
that.
don't your principles change
But
as
it's
your
like-
life change though? You know, shouldn't you have a different set of principles now? Necessarily?
I mean, should is
Not
a
if you
weird
came up in the
question
streets.
because
Yeah, for sure.
I would say you should. And
To a
I
certain
think
extent.
most people's principles evolve over time, but there are like really core principles that
sure.
you held for so long that
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost near impossible to change.
Yeah, so I ain't mad at that.
I would assume that's one for him, which is like this has been ingrained since you were born.
Yeah.
Snitch, no.
He just can't get off
Anybody
of it.
that says yes, no.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But Boozy got bigger problems to deal with.
Definitely.
He got his daughter calling him a bitch nigga and shit. So it's like he probably
shit
got
was
some
wild.
bigger issues to
That shit
deal
was
with
wild.
Seems that way.
than that. But I haven't really seen any other or many other rappers say anything about it.
Nobody said too
Honestly.
much.
I can't remember any that stood out. I saw a few like headlines, but I didn't look into them that much.
And I think when people say like they could impact Kodak. I don't think anybody in the rap game is gonna like
Nah, I don't
be
see it.
deterred from doing a feature with they fuck with Kodak.
That shit
So,
go, bro. Gunna had the best album of this year so far.
He got the #1 hip hop song in the world.
And
Right
Tekashi
now.
did a song
They
with
say
Kodak.
his one single "Fuck You Mean" got more streams than Young Thug's entire album.
Then all the albums.
Yeah, I did
then
see
Dirk's
that.
album, then Thug's album, it did better than all of them. Just that one single.
I saw that too.
So
That
it's
rap
like,
shit is out of here, bro.
Yeah, I mean-
if you make some hot shit, let that shit ride.
I wonder. You think? Actually, I'm not even gonna ask this a question. I think Gunna's success had to have played into the timing of this Yak verse.
Maybe so.
Is 6ix9ine sees somebody else do it successfully and not be banished for being
Yeah,
a
he like, let me
snitch.
get
He's
back in
like,
this
yo,
motherfucker.
pay out whatever we need to right
Y'all
now is
fucking
the
with the
time to
rat shit
strike.
now? Okay.
Yeah, this is the time to hit right now.
Yeah.
Had to have been related,
yeah.
but
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I guess we'll probably never hear that song like on the radio or anything like that. I think he's
Nah,
still
'cause
blackballed
Tekashi's
to that
still
extent.
blackballed. He ain't
Yeah.
getting the shit.
It's going crazy on YouTube for sure.
Yeah.
As expected.
I enjoy the old 6ix9ine sound.
It's a
That
good
motherfucker
sound.
gets on there yelling
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
It's hype.
I mean, yeah, especially on beats like that. It's
never
gonna
get
get
into
club
it like
play,
that.
and I think elsewhere, like I said, outside of America, it's gonna be a pretty big record too. So
Yep.
win-win.
It works.
So what happened with G Herbo?
Well, he got indicted.
It seemed like this happened so fast.
So quickly.
One day
and
indicted, next
No,
day
it
it was like
happened
it was
been
done.
on for a
he
while.
got
This
indicted a
happened
while
months
ago. We
ago,
just
yeah.
hadn't heard much about it because he was kind of out living life like normal.
Yeah, he got indicted a while ago. This is extra news came out about it.
Gotcha.
What did he say? But what happened is he agreed to a plea deal to plead guilty for the federal wire fraud charges. He is accused of using stolen identities to fund private jets, a Jamaican villa, and designer puppies. That's weird. And then lying about it to federal agents. So yeah, he was out here scamming.
It's crazy that people even call puppies designer now. That's just a word you put on some shit to make it expensive.
To add
What
an
does that
extra
mean?
price.
Designer puppies
Them
I've never
expensive
heard
ass
that.
little.
just means an expensive ass Frenchie.
Yeah, expensive ass.
Some
Oh,
stupid
it is
shit.
referring to dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's some stupid
I've never
shit.
heard that term. I was gonna ask you about it.
They just put it on fucking anything now just to make them sound like something special. It's crazy. It's a
They
dog.
charging racks for them joints.
Interesting.
Super racks, but yeah, he out here scamming, which is wild because you're a famous rapper.
But
So.
she said booking private jets under a false name.
Wildin'.
Yeah,
Wow.
somebody else like that.
Why would you do that though? What's the purpose of doing
I
that?
would think he probably can't go out of the country or can't do certain things. So maybe that's.
I mean, normally, like people get shit like that. The label will get shit like that cleared for
That's
you.
true.
That ain't a problem to move some shit around
I
I
thought
got
you
no
said
so you can
explanation for
perform a show and go back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that seems pretty normal. I thought you said stolen identities, like he was just using other people's money to pay for the jets. Unless I misheard or interpreted.
I don't know how exactly he did it, but he was fraudulently.
Yeah, I mean, I guess how it
Getting
doesn't
jets,
matter.
how maybe
This
go,
was
yeah.
confirmed that this was happening
But maybe
like
that's-
since he became large. This isn't
I know.
like
I
an
know.
old.
I bet he couldn't really. I bet he can't really afford private. How many rappers can really afford private jets like that?
Yeah,
this
private
is
jets crazy.
Private jets
expensive.
really cost like $30,000 a flight or some shit, like $30,000 a flight, especially if you got a big one or something. It's a lot of money that people and motherfuckers act like they taking them on every flight. That's not the truth.
Yeah,
I
I've
saw
seen-
Kevin Gates on my flight. Like, yeah, that's a real dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I've
most
seen,
people take commercial flights.
Yeah, a regular
I've seen
flight.
Duval itemize it. Like he posted a picture of itemized receipt between him and his pilot that he hired for his plane, like on a recent trip. And I don't remember the exact amount, but it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was crazy. That was just for one trip.
Yeah, just for one trip, it's a lot of fucking money. And
Yeah,
so
that's too
I'm
much.
wondering if he could actually even. I know G Herbo is a pretty big artist, but is he making? I mean, he's not making $300K a show, right? So if you're taking a private jet to a show and you're not even making.
I think he
If you
can
got to spend
afford it
10% of what you make, but you're not even making. You're not making $300K. So he's probably
Yeah.
spending like, I don't know, 40% or something, or 30% of what he make just to go to a show.
I mean, we don't
It's a
know
bad
what he
idea.
make. I think he can afford it enough to do it a couple times. I don't think he's like every time he flies, he's in a private jet. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple times a year. He's like, we're gonna take. We're gonna
It
do the
sounds
PJ
like
this
one time too many.
I mean, obviously,
That's what it sounded like to me. It
Obviously.
sounded like he couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But he trying to
I mean,
portray
it
his
was like he couldn't
lifestyle.
afford it. He was just fraudulently doing it. He still had to pay for it.
He
He had to pay for it somehow.
It's something maybe, I guess. I don't know exactly how it all worked out. Like I said, stolen identities. I don't know what he was doing
Who knows?
exactly.
Who knows? But he wilding.
Yeah, who knows the details? But if you're a millionaire,
Yeah.
you can't be scamming.
You can't be scamming. A famous millionaire, a famous entertainer. Like people know you. They're like, oh, this ain't G Herbo. This ain't G Herbo's passport. What is this?
Brother, you ain't smart enough for these kind of crimes. Let's start there.
We are getting a little next level. This is another level of crime.
Stick to the strong arm shit. Whack a motherfucker over the head and run away. You might get away with that. This paperwork stuff, that's not your lane.
He wilding.
That's not your lane, dog.
5 years, chunk of time.
Shit, that's more than Melly got.
It's a big chunk.
Yeah, he could have
At
got
this point-
25. Said he had 25 on his head, so he had to plead down to get that 5. So better off, I think.
Yeah, I would assume.
That's tough, man.
It is.
Go ahead, go with that.
Well, YNW Melly?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Mistrial.
mistrial, yeah. Jury, I think they what do they call it?
Hung jury.
Hung jury, yeah.
Can't reach a unanimous.
All right, it was
I
like
seen
9
it.
out of 12.
Yeah,
said
it
not
was like
guilty.
9 out of 12 said not guilty or something like that.
Saw that from his mom.
Oh yeah, it's probably.
Yeah.
But either way, it don't matter.
Yeah,
They
it could
were
be.
hung.
It could be 11-1 the opposite way. It
has
doesn't matter.
no. Yeah, who cares? It's a mistrial. Now, with a mistrial, they got like 2 options, right? They can either pick up the trial again, or they can just say fuck it and let the motherfucker go.
Yeah, they
Right.
can, they can retry him.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it sounds like it's almost already decided
But I
that they're
just
going to
wonder,
recharge.
what's the point of retrying? I know that you could pick out a different jury and stuff like that, but
Because you ain't
they
get him the
don't
first
have
time.
any evidence, though.
Yeah.
There's no real evidence to say that he did. That's why when I first looked at the case, I think we talked about it a couple years ago. I'm like, yo, I think Melly gonna come home. Like, it. Yeah, they can kind of paint the picture of saying like he obviously did this with even like science and forensics, but there is no witness that puts him at the scene. There's no murder weapon.
No gun.
There's no murder weapon. So it's like, at that point, all you have is cell phone evidence, and anybody can have somebody's cell phone. It's an argument that a lawyer could make,
Yeah.
or or whatever. Like I said, you don't have any witnesses. You got a couple text messages that can easily be dismissed. You don't actually. I don't think they have a case against them. So that's just a
No evidence. Shit's done. Couldn't prove it.
yeah. Like I
End
told
of the
people,
day.
hey, you want to do a double murder? That's how you get it done.
That's what you told people?
Yeah, that's what I've been telling people. That's what I've been telling people. That's how you get it done. And, you know, he had to spend a couple years in jail, but a couple years.
I think he's still there.
Oh yeah, I
I
think.
don't
ain't
think
out
he's
yet.
leaving until the second trial.
Well, until they announce that they're not going to try him again or whatever. it may be.
Right. Yeah, whatever the final outcome is.
Ain't letting them out yet.
Hey, you know, study that blueprint. If you want to whack somebody, you might get off.
I'm gonna say don't kill people.
Yeah. I mean,
Carl's
ultimately,
got a different prescription.
I'm saying if you had to,
I don't care what happens to him. If he's not guilty, then hopefully it stays that way. If he's guilty, hopefully they get him on the second retry. I don't have much thought beyond it.
yeah.
If it was really 9-3, then it seems unlikely that anything is going to change in a second trial.
I mean, I watched some clips from the trial. To me, it seemed fairly one-sided. I think prosecution kind of opened up strong, like they had a case and how they were going to prove it, but they never ended up proving really anything. They didn't call any witnesses to really, solidify the fact that Melly did this. Did he? Probably, yeah, sure. But you got to prove that shit.
He did that shit.
Oh yeah, most
got
likely.
Motherfucker did that shit.
Most likely.
But he got off. Hey, power to him. Power to him. What else we got? Vaughn or Nas?
Vaughn. Let's talk about Vaughn.
Let's be honest.
Because you seem to have
killers.
different information or more information that I'm not aware of.
No,
So
I think you got more information about the King Von shit because I ain't seen no. What were we talking about?
The
King
one
Von?
that I saw the only one I've seen about Vaughn was him requesting protective custody. Said that the people in there don't like gay people. I'm gay, and they put him into PC.
And then also, I mean,
That's what that
right
was.
before the video cuts off, he's like,
Yeah,
he's
go ahead,
like,
say it.
what is? I don't know what the guy's name was, but he was yelling at one of his friends outside. He was like, "I love you," or something like. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck you too." Also weird shit, like very strange. I don't know if he was just trying to sell his story or what, but
it was odd.
very odd thing to say,
Damn.
and it's caught on camera. It's definitely him. There's no denying it.
That's rough.
Very, very strange. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gay, and they don't fuck with that shit." So they're like, "Yeah, you won't get in protective custody?" He's like, "Yeah."
I mean, I want to shoot him some bail because that seems like a good move to make if you want to get some protective custody. If you know somebody trying to kill you in there, hey, you gonna say what you got to do to get protective custody? You could just say you gay. I mean, you
very
got to do
possible.
nothing gay.
I think that's 100% a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to know. I can't imagine any information that would come out that would like fully convince me one way or the other. I don't care either way, and I don't think this matters because I think we were talking about it recently. I think his music is running out.
Yeah.
As far as I don't think this is going to be something where we're
That last album
looking
probably
at
the
the
last
next
one.
4 King Von albums, so it doesn't matter in that regard. But I could easily believe that he said what he had to say to get where he needed to go to be safe, or
Protect me.
he was gay.
Yeah, I mean,
Neither one would be
It's
shocking.
interesting that the video even came out, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just weird. Like, how did I even get out?
Like, why
how they
now?
get that footage?
And then to coincide, it's got I don't even know who this rapper is, Lil J from Chicago. He got
I
a
don't
video
know
of
if that
him
was neither.
kissing a trannie,
Yeah, that was wild.
and it's like, who's
Wait,
putting
that
these videos out?
That was the one sitting on his lap.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did see.
That was crazy.
There's also another video of him like beating the same tranny up or some shit like that, or another one up,
Must have cheated on him.
something like that. Probably.
I'm gonna continue
that's
to try
wild.
to do my best to stay out of jail.
This a different lifestyle, man.
I ain't built for it.
Ain't waiting for them type
yeah,
of
I mean-
issues, bro.
Dude, like I said, those people literally believe that it's not gay in there because of your circumstance. Like that is the female of your world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they believe. Well, I'm not saying all of them,
I
but
can understand convincing yourself of that if you have life, because it's just like you just lie to yourself to just survive. I don't know. I can understand how somebody could do that. If you're coming back out like relatively shortly after, I don't know how you just flip that switch like, nah, it's cool in here. Nope, back off of that.
Well, yeah, you did 2 years.
It's wild, right?
You did 2 years and you went down that path. You was always curious.
I mean,
Flip that switch a little too quick.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Look, DMX is one of my top 3 favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah.
We all know he's got the bars, and within his music says some wild shit. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. When he went to prison, he was not going away for life. He knew he was going to prison for whatever sentence he had, and was coming back out. I don't know how he flipped that switch, but not exactly trying to.
Did he said that in his rap before?
He said stuff in his raps about sucking dick or you sucking my dick and.
Oh yeah, I mean I've heard him say that like in like the intimidating, I guess like New York style of way of suck my dick, but I haven't heard
It's
him.
possible. There's
I haven't heard him like as a request.
There's too many questionable.
Can you please?
There's too many questionable bars that I would strongly believe that in prison.
I think DMX get
I
down
don't
yeah
wanna-
with some
I
shit
don't
like
wanna know
that.
about.
Probably so. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, different set of rules, man.
gun to my head, I would say he did things that I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So anyway,
What we got? Nasir Jones.
let's
Dropping
get to the new music for the week.
Big Nas, bro.
That came out this week or last week?
Last week,
Friday.
Friday. That's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nas, 4th album in 2 years. No, 5th album. Excuse me.
Yeah.
5th album.
5th and 3, I think.
Well, so he's been busy.
5th
Could be
and 3?
5th and 2. I'm not
I
sure.
think it's
I
2.
think I saw 5th and 3, but
I think it's 2.
put out a ton of music.
3 Kings Disease, and this is the second installment of Magic, all produced by Hit Boy, and that shit is fucking phenomenal. There's some next level rapping going on that.
Is
that
this
album.
what they gonna do going forward?
Don't look like they're gonna stop no time soon.
Apparently,
Yeah, they're not showing any signs of it.
Yeah, like they keeping it going, and it's like just listening to that shit. It's like the rapping that Nas is doing at this level is like alien level. Like the different flows, the different sound and so the production is always crazy. Cause Hit Boy, like that's why I fuck with Hit Boy, one of my favorite producers. You never gonna find a song that sounds the same from Hit Boy. Like every single record on that Nas
Yeah,
album
but-
sound fucking different.
I have a hard time finding a song that stays the same beat the whole way through the song.
Right.
He be
Like-
switching beats 3-4 times in the same song.
The flips he does, it's like, yo, this is the same producer doing every one of these
Yeah.
joints. It's crazy to me. That's what make it like wilder, like, cause the albums ain't all over the place. Like they make sense, but the way they jump from like a modern sounding beat to some 90, 95
old
hip
school.
hop joint, the next
I
joint
think
is
that's
like,
impressive. I think that's one of the most impressive things to me about Hit Boy is just like the
Yeah.
versatility and stuff.
Yeah,
Because
he can
it's
do all
so
that.
easy for producers to get stuck in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how many
Yep.
producers have we seen over the time? It's like you play that beat, you know who it is.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no producer tag or anything.
Yeah.
You know, Zaytoven had a run that was like, we know exactly what your beat's gonna sound like.
well, even all those guys, they still had to expand what they was doing at some point. Like Mustard don't make the same type of beats he did. when he
Yeah, I
first
mean,
came
if they
out.
wanted to last,
Mike
but,
Will,
but it's motherfuckers
Metro
like
too.
Lex Luger, who-
Lex Luger, yeah. So the people that,
That
didn't,
shit
didn't
passed you
adapt,
by, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
if you don't
But-
adapt,
And his
Or-
run was this long.
Yeah, or even like to a lesser extent, I know all the Timberland's beats don't sound the same, but by
There's a
his-
signature to
certain
it.
yeah, by
sounds,
his drum
sounds.
patterns, you can tell it's like it's a Timberland
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
he
even-
made so many different type of his beats that he make.
yeah,
are so
because he can cross over
unorthodox
genres.
anyway. Yeah, so it's like
the style of beats that he can make. You can do an R&B song to it,
Yeah.
or you can rap to it,
He can work
whatever.
with anybody.
So it's real versatile that way, but
Yeah.
it is within his style.
Yeah.
Hit Boy is like a chameleon, you know.
Yeah.
It's really like it's almost like
That shit next
what's
level.
that? What's that shit? What's that word? Mercurial. Like it just switches so effortlessly, like
Yeah.
based on his mood or some shit. Like
Yeah.
however I'm feeling today.
And that's what makes
kinda
all these
beat on
albums
me.
that they put out the last 2 years dope, because all of them are their own album. Like you can't say like they all just generally sound the same. They all have their own different type of beats and different type of songs that they making, and Nas is just rapping on them flawlessly. Like that shit is effortless. Damn,
I think that's why he's gotten such good feedback on every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because it's not like oh, this is the same version of the one that you put out 2 years ago or the year before. It's
Yep.
very different sounding. I thought he sounded great. Like you said, he was rapping his ass off as always.
Crazy.
That one with 21 came out before, right?
It did.
Okay, I thought I had
After
heard
they
that.
had like
That came out like last year.
Yeah, I was thinking even
Was it last
later
year?
than
Yeah, it
that.
was last year.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
last
like maybe 2 years, but
That
it's
was,
been
I
a
think we
while.
played it on the pod.
One
and
mic,
stuff.
one
One
knife,
gun.
one gun.
It's a dope song.
Yeah,
It was
it was
I didn't
good.
know that was on the album, but it makes sense.
Yeah, they put it on the last track, and all of them pretty short. I think it was like 11 songs on this joint.
Yeah.
All of them sort of stay in that
Perfect.
range. Nothing never too long, so it makes you keep one more ready for the next one because that shit's fire. I've been listening to that shit most of this weekend.
I was trying to think of like a sports comparison for this the other day. I didn't think about it for very long, and I didn't come up with one. But he just comes across as like just a straight hip hop nerd in a good way,
Yeah.
and that like he doesn't care about
Who, Hit
anything.
Boy or Nas?
Nas.
Okay.
Just doesn't care about anything but hip hop. I could see him putting out music till he's 60, rapping.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. It doesn't seem like I know he makes a lot of business moves and stuff, but it seems like his primary love, passion, and what he's here for is for putting out hip hop.
Yeah, because he ain't got to put out this many albums.
Nobody
this
else
type of
does.
Clip. This is not necessary.
He's one of a kind, and then nobody that was rapping back when he was rapping is putting out music the way he does.
At
Well,
all.
yeah, I think-
not even close.
I think
At
just
least, on top of that, my bad, but on top of just the amount, nobody is doing it where he's still getting the accolades
Yeah.
and the respect. Or it's like there's some
I think
people that
3
you
out
still
of the
put
5
out.
was Grammy nominated.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
it's
elite
what?
level.
yeah, I think it's one of those things. He definitely is like evolving with time too. But I think with Nas, he's just one of those guys, and it's a rarity. It's only like a handful of folks, and I'll even put like, your Kendricks or Drakes and stuff, or J. Cole. They were like poets before they were rappers. It's like so many people embrace like this, like that Tupac type shit. So many people embrace like this rapper persona and shit, but it's like you just a rapper. Like Nas is deeper than that. Like this motherfucker can get up and do spoken word at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of his verses, but the way he break it down is so deep and meaningful. Like, so I just think that's why it's like kind of like I don't know, just in them to keep doing music and shit like that, because it's not about being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? It's about conveying a message, getting my
Yeah.
point across.
That's
I'm a
kinda
poet
what I
first,
mean.
you know what I'm saying? So
I
he
agree.
he always gonna have something to say. You know what I'm saying? Like them niggas who only rapping about, like Too Short can't rap about pimping no more. We don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have nothing to say to this generation no more, or to like that anybody that really wants to, even the generation that listened to you growing up. You don't have anything to say to them anymore.
Yeah.
But Nas is always gonna have something to say, because he just documenting time, a moment in time, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? On some poet shit.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, how do you think his catalog? I saw something as a picture of all of his albums, and the catalog is just crazy. Not like that's a new thing that we just found out or something.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder if his catalog stacks up as like the greatest of all time, if you're taking into consideration the amount of time that it came out over. You can find periods in time that had like a hotter 6 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But the fact that he's rolling on 30 years of like top level, like you were just talking about Grammys on these new ones. I don't know if anybody else
Not
is
at
even
this
in the
stage.
realm.
Not at this stage of their career, I don't think. Even somebody like Jay-Z.
Hadn't really been doing music.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it's a hard comparison there, because of course you would take Jay-Z's catalog probably over Nas's overall, but just
Maybe.
him still doing it at this level, this far, and like I said, getting that kind of recognition from it is, I think, unique.
It is, for sure.
We normally see guys his age pop out do a feature.
yeah.
And
I
they be
just-
like, "Oh, that feature was hot." You hear
I
what's
feel
going
like-
on that feature, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The whole album that's like really worth listening to,
5 of
and
them.
that actually
5 is crazy.
keep getting
It
better.
doesn't
it's
make
just-
sense. Like, I feel like if he was a basketball player, it's like he's putting up superstar numbers at 50.
Yeah.
Where
It's
all,
LeBron
of his,
shit.
where all of his peers were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the greatest of his peers were like tapped out at 42 or something. It's like he's still doing it at a level
going.
that 20-year-olds, it doesn't make sense. It's really impressive. And this probably is, well, it's definitely is one of the first albums this year that really hit me right off rip.
Yeah.
For first listen all the way through. It's just really, really good music.
Yeah, that's just solid. Shout out to Nasir.
What you think about that 50 record?
I was kind of hyped to hear it.
Me too.
B was crazy. Nas went crazy. 50 gave us 12 bars.
He mailed
And
it
then
in
he
on
talked
that 12
for like
as
another
well.
12. He
I didn't
talked,
hear that.
yeah, he gave
I'm
like
on
a quick
City
little
Drive.
12 little bars, and then he talked for like the rest of the, however long the verse part was.
It was super basic. I was disappointed. I'm not going to say
Well,
like
he said it was hard. Like, he came in hard. I was like, oh shit, 50 about to
I
go
didn't even
crazy.
think it went that hard, the little bit that he said.
It was light, but it was like, it felt like he was warming up to start to go crazy,
Yeah.
and then it just ended, and he just started talking shit. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like,
That's one of them he
Nas
ran-
just spazzed for like 48 bars before
That's
you
one of
came
the things
in.
he ran out of time or he ran out of bars. He
Yeah.
like, shit, I gotta sit in this motherfucker bag. I was gonna talk on it the rest of the
Yeah.
time.
I was super disappointed. I was
Little
going to
bit.
listen to the whole
Little bit.
thing, but that was the first one I was like, oh shit, I'm just curious what 50's, what's he going to sound like nowadays?
I mean, he still
came
sounded
in,
like
did
him.
He did. Like the voice sounded the same, but it
Yeah.
was like, I'm good.
It was just light, real light verse.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he just did something, wrote something real quick and just laid it down.
A
Just
12 bar
like-
feature ain't even worth it.
Nah.
It's like
Nah, we don't even need you
12
on this
bar
song.
feature, bro.
Cause Nas snapped.
Yeah.
Like, he should have like, dog, you let him snap for like 48 bars, you just drop a little 12 real quick? Like, what we doing?
Right.
And then came back after that and rapped some more. Like, Nas is going nuts on that shit. But it was all right. It was underwhelming though, for sure, because I was expecting 50 to go at least a full verse. Not
Give me a 16,
yeah,
bro.
at least give me a full verse.
You've been in retirement. You could give me a 16. You know what I'm saying?
But it was dope to see that, Queen's Connection. I think they hadn't did a song since early in 50's career.
But I said, what song was that?
I can't remember the name of it. It was like a real early joint.
I don't ever remember hearing a song with him and Nas.
I'm not familiar.
What's it called? What they got it on here? It might have been on a mixtape. They got a song with Nature and Nas and 50. Well, it was some old shit. I can't remember find the name on it. It probably was on a mixtape or something. But she was out there.
No doubt.
Ain't mad at it.
What else came out?
What else did I check out myself?
I listened to quite a few singles.
I listened to that Babyface Ray album. I know y'all don't really fuck with him, but it's pretty solid. If you're a Babyface Ray fan, so to speak, it sound like him. That ASAP single, I like that joint. Riot.
I was disappointed.
I saw
Kinda
him
like it.
perform it, but I haven't heard the actual song.
kinda like it.
I've never been an A$AP Rocky fan, so it's never been
Yeah.
something I would go on my way to listen to.
It's been one of the better songs I've heard from ASAP in a long time, I would say.
Yeah.
Just
One of the only songs you heard from him in a long time.
Yeah, that too.
With the random feature or random singles he has occasionally sprinkled out there haven't been the greatest
Yeah,
for the
he
past
did a couple of 'em.
multiple years. I wasn't impressed with this, to be honest, but ASAP is one that I have notoriously grown to like the songs the more I listen to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that'll be the case or not, but I saw that, was excited, didn't love it. That Travis Scott,
Pretty Flacco.
Bad Bunny and the Weeknd song, I hated it.
You ain't like that?
I hated it.
That's a crazy collab.
Yeah,
I
that shit
know.
going up.
That's why I
Well,
think my
you
expectations
see,
were just too high.
You see that Tekashi posted about that too?
No, I didn't.
The numbers
He
on
took
it.
a screenshot of it and was like, even being blackballed, I'm doing more numbers
Oh,
than
of course.
Yeah.
It was funny, but I mean nobody outstreams Bad Bunny. At the end of the day, I think
Nowhere
you're gonna
close.
get caught at the end of the day. But right
close.
now, initially, you
Or
definitely
the
doing
Weeknd.
Yeah,
he
or
got like the
with-
top
he
streams
is the
all
mo-
in one
he's the
song.
most
Travis.
streamed-
Yeah,
the most
yeah,
streamed,
Travis, yeah.
Spotify. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put those two together, that's just like a crazy.
Did you hear
crazy
it?
collab? No, I haven't heard it. No.
It's all right.
I mean, none of the artists are really interested.
Hated it.
It's nothing that I would listen to, but I listen to it, I can see people liking it.
I've never
Like
heard a
that,
Bad
like
Bunny
that.
song.
You know what I'm saying?
As popular as Bad Bunny is, I've never heard a Bad Bunny song, and I may have, but I'm not familiar with who Bad Bunny is. No clue.
I've listened to him before.
I don't even know
I just
what he
don't,
looks
you also
like.
know what he's saying, so it's
I've
just
heard
like,
them on songs,
Yeah.
but there's a handful of them that are very big. The Latin American artists that I don't know who's who.
Yeah.
So if the song came on, I would say I know that this is Bad Bunny, J Balvin, or a couple of other dudes, but I don't know who's who.
The song sound good though. Like he sound like he going in, like he going crazy.
Yeah, I think he's
just don't
kind of
know
dope
what he's
for real.
saying. Yeah.
I think he's dope for real.
Yeah, they say he go crazy.
And everybody loves him. Like he turned into he went into the WWE or whatever. I don't know if he's just doing a little guest thing, but it apparently went crazy over there. He's been acting in movies and shit. He's just a megastar.
Big time.
But I hated that song. I thought it was trash. I hope that's not what the rest of the album sounds like.
First single for Travis, ain't it?
Yeah, not excited.
Speaking
He
of
on
that,
tour right now, right?
we gonna get into that. They you hear about they apparently shut down him doing his performance at the pyramids. The Egyptians said, "Fuck that shit."
I have no idea what's happening because I did see that, and then everything that Travis says is still going on. I don't know who's right, but
I just wonder how he's allowed to do it though. I mean, I guess money, like you said, money talk, but it's
a lot of money involved.
I don't. I mean,
lot of money.
He can't be the first person to think of something like that.
He got Nike with him.
I would assume.
He got Nike with him. Nike giving him that bag up.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned it last week. I saw this reposted from Russ. The only reason I know this, but Russ and the Black Eyed Peas are the only music acts to ever perform at the pyramids.
He said the reason is
So I don't
because
know
they're
why,
saying he
but
makes.
two people have done it.
Oh, that's interesting.
They're saying he makes satanic music, and they don't. They were religious over there, and they ain't trying to have him perform in front of pyramids with his music.
I'm not shocked
was their
they don't
reasoning.
want him there.
Yeah.
I mean, he might wake up a devil or something.
Might already be.
Oh yeah,
He gets some weird
He's certainly
stuff.
possessed.
He gets in some weird
certainly
stuff.
possessed.
I like his music, but
that's one of them dudes. You like, oh yeah, I know you sold your soul. It's cool though.
he's
It's good
He's
because
a
he put
little-
out fire every time. Every time,
It's
bro.
cool.
Shit, he.
I know you want the
pretty
shit, but it's
much where
cool.
I'm at.
Yeah, Travis really hasn't missed in nothing he's dropped.
Keep it
far as
symbolic.
albums go.
Keep it symbolic and don't put lyrics on the song of like, I'm here for you, Satan, and I'm okay to continue to listen to it.
That's how they leading you down the path, man.
His music is too fire.
Did we ever talk about the bundle packages that he doing?
I don't think
Don't he
so.
always roll
Not
out some shit like
specifically
that, though?
his.
I mean, he hasn't done it since the last album was
Astroworld.
Astro World. But that was when they was still allowing the fucking bundles and shit, and they was kind of accusing him of why he got his number because he do his bundles. But the bundles he got now, because now you have to do it. You have to sell an actual album with it, like a CD or a vinyl or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling like 5 different copies of his album, the same album, but it's like different covers. And he's selling it like
hear
with
that,
like
actually.
shirts and like hats and shit, and his merch and shit going with it. But he's doing like 5 different versions. So he's basically making it so if you're a super fan, you're gonna buy his album at least 5 times.
Yeah,
to get
you're
every
creating
cover. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That's smart.
It's a smart move.
It is.
It's a smart move.
People
'cause
are so
that-
fucking stupid.
so
It's
every,
smart.
I'm about to say it's really fucked up because he playing on his fan base.
Yeah.
And a lot of the motherfuckers 12 years
They
old
buy
and
his shit, though.
playing Fortnite and they like,
that's-
Mom.
That's
You know?
mom's
They
problem.
buy
Yeah,
his
for
shit.
sure.
Yeah, and that's like it's a
Sure.
smart move because now it's like he make them to like collector's items to where you have to get all 5. It's
a great idea.
You get one person that's really a super fan, they're gonna buy your album 5 times. It's 5
Yeah.
bucks for each person that
Yeah.
buys it. That's crazy. Smart move though. Do what you got to do.
I can't argue with that.
Like I say, he's trying to bring back that meal in the week again. I think if anybody's close to doing it,
He's
it
massive.
would probably be him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
The way
gonna
they
have
buy his merch.
He's gonna have so many features on there.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a good combo artist.
Yeah.
He can
What do you
kind
mean
of
combo.
I just mean like it seems like he can match well with just about anybody. Seems like he loads up features and you can get a feature with somebody like The Weeknd and Bad Bunny that'll sound kind of fire, and then he'll do something with Uzi that sounds fire. It just seems like he can reach different demographics.
I mean, he's always done that though. Like just,
Yeah,
and,
that's
he,
what
and
I
he,
mean.
it's almost like on some
Collaborative
DJ Khaled-esque type shit, the way he like pairs up some
Yep.
people that you would never think
That's
would work together.
I
But
remember
it's a
y'all used to say
cohesive
y'all
project.
like y'all only like Thug if he featured.
Yep.
That's how I look at Travis, but I'm like a super
makes
Travis
sense.
fan. But
But
all
it's-
his best
all of his
songs is with
song-
people.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm
But
saying? Like,
it's,
yeah.
I don't listen to Travis Scott,
Yeah.
but you're forced to listen to him because he's on like some of the biggest records
right
of the year.
songs, yeah.
But all of his songs that I like sound like a Travis feature, even though it might be his song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just him
his
on the hook.
sound is really
Distinct.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
want to
for
say
his
it's
voice.
like it's not. He has a very distinct lane.
Yeah.
And he stays in it, but that's what I mean that's why I said combo. It just feels like whatever you pair him with, it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Travis.
I
like
expect
that.
the album to be good and stuff, but
Yeah.
not impressed with that.
Can't wait to
single.
hear it. Utopia.
Saw him do a backflip off like some like a column on stage or something. It was pretty impressive.
Wild boy.
Yeah.
That is impressive. You can be doing.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
he was like 20 feet in the air or some shit.
That's
like
wild.
some WWE type shit.
That's too much.
He does some wild shows. What else dropped? I like that Boss record, the Boston Cole record, Passport
I
Brothers.
saw that. I didn't listen
pretty
to
solid.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I added it on here, and that was one I didn't get to.
It's pretty solid. I think they was hinting that they doing a collab album. If I ain't tripping,
Oh,
it might
really?
just be a Boss album, but I think there was like some rumors that they're doing a collab album. So
Well, that's my best way to
knows?
listen to Boss.
who knows? I like
Collabed
Boss.
with J. Cole.
For sure. But I think that's all I got as far as new shit that I checked out.
There was a J. Rock Anderson .Paak single
I seen that video of that.
with Lotto. Yeah, it was okay. It was cool. I like
J. Rock
anything,
trying to catch him one.
Yeah,
Make ass shaking music.
put Anderson on there as a good.
Anderson .Paak. I saw that. I'm like, yo, that's a really, really interesting like duo.
It was cool. It was alright.
I think I
mind
saw a clip of the song, maybe a clip of Lotto's verse or something on TikTok. But,
Yeah. TDE trying to put him in position to have a nice single going on right here.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
all right. I mean, I like J Rock, but I see what he doing with that song.
Yeah,
It's one of those like
I don't
alright.
expect there will be many of those.
Yeah,
on
he's trying
the
to catch
album,
one. I
but,
want to hear the album because I fuck with his albums.
There was one other one I found. I don't know if this was from last week or maybe this was out before. It was King Von and Polo G.
That was on
Phil Jackson's
album.
album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listened to that. That was pretty cool. I think that's all the new music that I had listened to. Is there anything else either of you want to
Holy
mention?
shit.
What's that?
The Netflix show Quarterback got renewed. Kenny Pickett, baby. Let's go.
Like,
Is
that's
he on it
what
for
you
real?
hope?
Josh Allen, Kenny Pickett, Justin Herbert are supposed to be on the second season.
Oh, so Pickett's
That's interesting.
Mariota.
I guess you could put him in that.
They've already established what this is right now.
Nah, I think that's.
I mean, in that hierarchy, you could compare him to Mariota.
I think that's probably a better roster than they had for the first one. Like,
Oh, yeah,
to
for
top
sure.
to bottom,
Oh, yeah,
I would
yeah,
be
no
more
doubt, no
interested
doubt,
in
no
all
doubt,
three,
no
though.
doubt.
I've seen Pickett in tons of interview shit. He does a lot of stuff, or did a lot of stuff with Barstool. I know he's funny, and Josh Allen too. So That's gonna be fire.
it's
I'm
gonna be
excited for that.
fire. I know. That was random.
hey, that's okay.
breaking news.
I told you we got
excited
20
about that.
minutes. You drop out whatever you want.
I'm excited about
I'm more
that.
excited about that than the one that's out now. For sure. For
Really?
sure.
Did you finish it? Either
I
of
still
you?
haven't fucking finished it
I
yet.
still got-
That's why I said that. I was like, damn, I forgot to fucking finish that show.
I still got a few episodes left on there.
Yeah, he finished
Just
it.
It was
finish
cool.
up.
It was cool seeing it run
It's
through the
kind of
Super Bowl
dragging
and
to me a
stuff.
little bit, but I'm probably trying to finish it.
Do you know what episode you're on?
The early, like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Okay. So I think it's 7 and 8 are in the playoffs.
Okay.
So Mariota's not
so.
even a part of it, really.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do they do for him? Man, it's like just rehab
Well,
or
he's
something.
pretty much done after like episode 4 or 5 when he leaves the team.
Oh, right.
So
right.
like his was done pretty early, and then the last couple episodes are just Cousins and Mahomes.
Okay.
yeah, because they're the only ones
That makes
competing
sense.
at that
Yep.
point.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, sports. So a few sports things going on. I think.
A little here and there. Draymond.
Draymond went on the Pat Bev pod.
He did. Got
I need to
some
watch
shit
that.
off.
So I saw plenty of clips, but
You should
I
watch the
actually
pod.
want to watch that one.
I watched the whole thing. It was a pretty good pod. Good interview. It was asking some good questions and breaking down how the NBA works type shit. So it was good. I liked it.
Anything stood out to you? He had a few controversial statements. Do you remember what he said about Poole? I'm less
I do.
Remembered about that.
Go ahead.
What you got?
it.
They just he was branching off of his him talking about Chris Paul, saying that Chris Paul, like he never was. It's on pretty much on record of him saying that he doesn't like Chris Paul, but he was like, what I do like is that we get somebody that we get an adult or something like that. He's
Oh, damn.
said
That
we
one-
get an adult
in the
on the
podcast. He
team.
didn't. That part one before he talked about Poole.
Oh, really?
That was actually after he had talked about Poole in the range of the podcast. But they put it out and make it seem like that.
Well, I mean,
Actually,
I think
in the
he's
pod.
clearly talking about Jordan Poole when he
Right.
said that, though. Like,
Maybe.
we get an adult on the team, and he said
Yeah.
something else to reference about like
Young guys.
just like being a serious basketball player. It's pretty much the same thing I thought that all of the Warriors thought about Jordan Poole, is just that he wasn't a serious guy. he's talented but not serious.
I don't know if he was talking about him in that moment.
Who else would he be referencing?
But
If you say
just young
we're
players in
getting an
general.
adult, that sounds like a shot to me.
In the
All these
conversation,
motherfuckers grown men,
in the
dog.
conversation, they was talking about just dealing with young players and how his adjustment of being a leader on the team
okay.
with young guys. So it kind of like led into that
That's
with
different.
them bringing a veteran
I
on the team.
understand that.
Yeah,
But
so I don't know if it was
to
a
say
shot,
an adult,
but
though-
you can apply it.
Yeah, but
you can
to say an adult
The
is
shoe
like
fits.
Yeah,
it
you can
seemed
apply it
like
because
a
obviously
pretty
he was the young guy on the team.
direct slight to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, because you really just replaced one for one.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's been this huge shuffle of guys. Who was the guy who was childish? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you talking
Yeah.
about that's not an adult?
Yeah.
So that's what stuck out the most to me.
But even in that, he kind of like Draymond like admitted that he hasn't been a great vet to the young guys on the team, and he was like he think Chris Paul will help a guy like Kuminga out in his game because he hasn't been able to get him to be to that level they want him to be, being one of their young athletic guys or whatever. So he was like he think he can learn from Chris Paul just on how to be a vet to the young guys because he's done that pretty much for the last half of his career or whatever.
Yeah.
So he kind of admitted to that. So that part was good. And what was another part that I like? I like how they was breaking down just his basketball IQ in general. They had like a large part about that where they was just talking like, I think he had a clip about it when he said, I think like 65, 70% of the league don't have good IQ. Like most of the guys in the league are dumb. They just
wanna
either super athletic,
score a bucket.
can score good.
Yeah, that's it.
But they have no IQ of the game.
Ain't set nobody up or
Yeah.
anything. Ain't even thought about the next move.
Yeah.
But that's why you can see it when you see it, though, because
Yeah,
not
right.
everybody's playing
Yeah.
basketball that style.
They basically compared to like a guy like LeBron, like with his stature, like most guys that come in with his type of ability is not gonna have an IQ. He's like, that's why LeBron is an anomaly because he has all the athletics to do
He
whatever he
doesn't
wants on the
need
court,
it.
but he's still the smartest player on the
Right.
court, which sets him apart. And he was just breaking that shit down by how him and Pat they get like the bad raps of not being good offensive players. It's like in this league, you gotta find the role, you gotta find your part, and that's how you have long careers. And that's the part that people like don't pay attention to. Like, yeah, I may not be putting up 25 a game, but I'm helping my team win championships. I'm helping every team I've been on, even Pat Bev, every team he's been on, he's made the team better. So you can't knock them for that. And he's like, even when people call like Chris Paul, he's like, I know I've said I've hated him for a while, just as being opponents or whatever. He was like, but at the same time, he damn, I lost my train of thought. He They call him a loser because he hasn't won a championship. And it's like, no, he's been a winner his whole career. He just hasn't won a championship. But every team he's been on has been winning, has been playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just how you look at it. People always base it off the rings. You got to base it off, this man's been around for almost 20 years, and every team he's been on has put him in position to win championships. He may have gotten one because he gets injured or whatever, but he's helped every team he's been on. So it makes sense how they broke that shit down. I like that.
I mean, I think it's going to work out.
Yeah,
Overall, I mean, does it make them, again, does it even make them a top 5 team in the West? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I think
think they have to be,
ultimately,
though.
of course, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think.
As long as they're in the mix,
And I think it's not a card you want to draw if you're a higher seed, just like we saw this year with them. We might see that going forward as well. You're not going to want to, be the 3 seed and have to match up against Golden State.
Yep, in the first round or second round.
Especially if you're a young team and you happen to be, you don't want to play against those guys. They just, again, that basketball IQ going to tear you up over a 7-game series to me.
I expect that they're going to be better than they were last year. There's just no way to have the team that they had and be as bad as they were on the road. It just doesn't make sense. And it wasn't like that was a...
That sound like you missing veteran players, though. That sound like some young player type shit. We going on the road, we partying.
No, it does.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? We're going to Miami this week, y'all. Like,
sure, I agree with that 100%.
There's probably most basketball
but it's like
players.
multiple years up until... It wasn't like up until last year this was an issue that was ever a struggle. So for it to just suddenly come up last year, there's no chance they'll be as bad as they were. But we'll see what happens. After that interview, I saw like other reports about saying that him and Kuminga don't have any relationship at all. Like they don't speak to each other. And who knows if that's true or not. Once you get all that narrative going, it's easy just to keep dogpiling it. But I do get the vibe that I think Draymond is a really good leader. with his leadership style.
Yeah.
If you can't get with his leadership style, I don't think he's a great leader and that he can reach somebody through a
don't
different
adapt.
method.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like once he bumps heads with the young guys, whether it's Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman, who knows, it seems like there's not really like a second plan. It's
Right.
my way or the highway. And
Right.
if you don't like it, fuck you. I'm Draymond. We're the Warriors. Like, I'm here to stay. You're not.
That's definitely his mentality.
So I think, when I hear him talk outside of the game, like I do think he's a really good leader. But I think that might be an area where he can't go from good to great without figuring that part
Well,
out.
I think he got to learn how to
who knows?
lead differently because it's
Right.
It's
With the young
different
guys,
when you're
especially.
leading amongst like your peers and stuff. Like all you guys might have like similar
Yes.
mindsets to
Yes.
certain things, but now we're talking about a dude who's I don't know 15 years in the league. I don't know how long he's been
Something
in the league.
like that.
Something close to.
At least 10 plus, whatever. There's a lot of younger guys coming in with different mentalities and they just think different from what you kind of grew up in or were what you were molded to do and think. So
It's 11.
oh okay, yeah, 10 plus, whatever. It's just he's probably got to learn how to communicate differently to those type of guys.
You've heard, I agree 100%, and you've heard other coaches say that same type of thing, whether it be college coaches talking about recruiting or old NBA coaches talking about having to adapt to the more current players. I think there's a really big disconnect between that group that did it differently, and it's like within the past 5 years is when it's like super heavily changed, where you can't reach these kids the same way you could reach
To understand.
a 30 to
Or just the way about
35-year-old.
going about it. Like Chris Paul, for example, like when he got traded to OKC with all them young guys and still was able to get them to buy in and they was a playoff team and they contended. So it's like some people are just better at it than others.
Yeah, obviously he can't be such a bad guy if it worked out there,
Yeah,
And
right.
it's worked out most places he's been, or pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere he's been.
As far as
contender.
being a competitive team, you know. So I mean that says a lot about a person, I think.
Yep.
Ultimately.
I agree.
It's what they need. It's what they need. Where we at?
Anything else sports related?
I mean, Messi came over, signed with Miami,
Yeah, had his first match.
got in the first match, gets the game winning goal.
Game-winning goal.
Late in the game, I
Just
believe. It was, I think, the highest, most watched soccer
MLS
game
game.
in U.S. history that wasn't a World Cup or something.
Makes sense.
It was a big thing. I don't
Yeah.
particularly care about soccer, like
Yeah.
U.S. soccer. I check in for the World Cup, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously,
deal.
Messi is going to have a big footprint on continuing to make it a bigger sport within the U.S. It's just kind of cool. Kind of cool to see the buzz.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I don't know anything about soccer. Take it from a novice perspective, like him.
So treat it like basketball and football.
Something like that. Where did he play previous or prior to signing with Miami?
Barcelona.
Spain.
Okay, right. Now, why is he making the move to American soccer, or is it just
So it's a very complicated answer in that soccer has all these different leagues where they're trading people from one league to another league all the
I'm tripping. He
time.
was with Paris recently. He
PSG.
was with
Okay.
Barcelona before Paris, but
Okay.
in Paris
So-
he was with a three-headed monster. It was him, Messi,
Neymar?
and Neymar. No, Messi, Neymar, and somebody else.
Mbappe.
Another one. Mbappe. Yeah, it was like three of the top 5 best players in the world. They was all on the same team.
unfair?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But go ahead.
I mean, you could probably honestly describe it better than that. It's hard to explain because players can get traded from one league to another. I don't know if he got traded or if his contract was just up and he's now at the point of his career where it's in the back end.
Yeah.
And like Beckham was the first person to do this years and years ago.
Right,
Once
okay.
you've kind of run everything
Just get a bag.
overseas, you can come over here. Miami gave him crazy money and ownership of the team, like partial ownership
Oh, wow.
of the franchise. So I think it's a financial move for him, but he will be used as the ambassador for U.S. soccer for the next 7 years, I would imagine, something like that.
Soccer is basically like a free market for who got the most money. It ain't no cap. It ain't really no restrictions. It's just all about if you can make a deal, you can pay the motherfucker more money than these
Even like
other
poaching.
teams. I'm sure that's a
Yeah,
part of it.
I'll give you an example right now. the Saudis just offered Mbappe.
I'm about to bring that up,
They're paying. Their offer is $1.1 billion to get Mbappe from PSG into their league. Their offer was a $300 million posting fee that would go to his current team.
Go to Paris, yeah.
And then he's going to
Like
make
$770
million for
Buying you out
one
for
season
1 year contract.
that they would pay for the player.
Nuts.
Oh wow.
So the team that he plays for now just accepted the offer today. It's up to him as the player if he's going to go play over there. But if he accepts, he'll make $770 million for one season.
1 season. Now, Saudi Arabia really fucked the game up.
Yes.
Because at first, this was just a war with the top teams in Europe. Had the most money, and they was used to do bidding wars for whoever was able to get out of their contract or be transferred or whatever. Now Saudi has been coming in offering literally $1 billion contracts. They offered one to Messi, he turned it down, went to Miami. Offered one to Ronaldo, he took the shit. He on a Saudi team right now with $1 billion contract.
Yep.
And now they try to make an attempt to get Mbappe. So Saudi is kind of fucking the game up because they throwing out $1 billion 1 year contracts that nobody else can really offer. So,
That's
which is
insane.
crazy.
It's like,
Yeah.
how do I turn that down?
Yeah. So before the Saudis got in the mix, like he's talking about, your rights could be owned by a British team, and you're playing in the EPL, and a team in Spain offers your team a posting fee that they pay the team, and you're traded from one league to another.
Yeah,
It's very confusing
it is.
for us because we're
And it's
used to
different
the,
too.
We're not in that world,
the
right?
U.S. structure
At all.
where
And you
there's
could like
one
play
league.
for a club and play for an national team, like the team, your country that you're
Yeah.
from.
Right.
So it's like that
I
separation
figured that
too.
part, yeah.
It's wild.
So it's a lot of fucking money, especially if you're one of the top guys. You can get a lot of bank.
Yeah.
Even in your latter years, like Ronaldo and Messi, they still getting the
This is
biggest.
the paying for the name at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
right?
It's a lot of money. People
Almost on
invested.
some Ted Lasso shit with what was what old dude's name from season 1? That was like the old soccer player that everybody.
Oh
became?
yeah, Roy.
Roy,
Yeah.
Roy, yeah. Some shit like that. It's just a name now, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
fans
you're not
love
the
it.
guy.
You know,
Now it's that young dude that
Yeah,
was an
right.
asshole. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was just cool. It was cool. I want to see it continue to grow. I think it would be good. I'll probably never be a huge U.S. soccer fan or any soccer fan, but it was exciting to see big name Messi get the game-winning goal in his first time.
Yeah,
It was fun.
as he should.
it's iconic for sure.
As he should.
Y'all see? I don't feel like anybody's talking about it, but Magic Johnson is the owner of the Washington Commanders now.
I did see that.
He's a partial owner
Partial
of, I
owner.
think, 5 different franchises.
Really?
Yeah, across different sports. I know he's in the Dodgers. I know he's in the Redskins, but it was a graphic that showed him owning. I don't know if he's a partial owner.
I don't know how much of Washington he owns.
I
but
don't either. It's probably a small
enough to
percentage.
put him in front of the podium. Apparently,
Yeah, well, it's basically the conversation we just having. If we get an
Right.
investment group and you're 1%, but we can use Magic Johnson's name
Right,
instead of
as a
some
seller.
guy that nobody knows.
Right.
It's like Cole, shout out Cole.
Yeah, J. Cole and the
That
Hornets.
shit went through.
Yeah. I seen
Partial
that.
owner.
I seen that. I seen that.
That's
But
right.
you know that he's saying that they looking at changing the name and stuff like that again. So,
Again?
yeah.
They want a full
They
fresh
want to pretty
start.
much
Yeah,
get
come
away
Snyder.
from anything related to Dan Snyder.
Dan Snyder, they said he got
Oh, you talking about the
$50 million
Commanders.
fine on his way out for
Really?
what they found within the organization.
damn.
So, I mean, he made crazy money selling the team. Taking that $50 million out, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But it
It's
was
like a
the
kick in
largest.
the ass while you're walking out the door.
Yeah, it
Right?
was the largest fine in NFL history, I believe.
Damn. Tough.
See how this is gonna work out for Magic if he'll pull another one of those Lakers stunts. I'm not gonna be here. Looking like I'm not gonna be here tomorrow.
One of the funniest videos of all time.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love that.
But I was like, dang, what the fuck does he know about football? See what they can
He
do. I
knows
guess he don't
he-
really have to know
nothing.
anything. But he was talking about it like he
He
did.
knows
Like,
about money.
we expect to win. We expect to win.
That's just what he
I'm gonna
says.
build a winner.
He doesn't know shit
Type
about
shit.
baseball, and he tweets out random shit after the Dodgers
Really?
game.
He's saying the right things. is all.
He knows about money, and if he's
Facts.
a 1% owner of the Redskins, when he sells in 25 years, the money
Yeah, I
he
mean-
made on 1% of that team is going to be massive.
Regardless of what you feel about the team, they're still one of the biggest brands in football.
any NFL franchise you could be part owner in would be pretty.
Yeah,
fire.
but the Redskins are, they got a huge
Like a
fan
OG.
base.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Great investment.
Getting into Paulie.
What's that?
Getting into Paulie. Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Paulie.
Super
We're Paulie.
confused.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, but I honestly I don't know much of what he said other than the quote that I saw that had me jot his name down was he said something to the effect of if I had
Shaq.
Shaq
Or
or
LeBron and Chris
LeBron,
Bosh.
you don't think I would have won a couple of championships?
Yeah. Because he was on Is What It Is podcast with Cam and Mace. And
Which
they
is
basically-
just continuously getting
It's
bigger and
blowing up.
bigger.
That
This
shit
shit is
blowing
huge
up.
now.
Massive.
blow it up. But that shit was hilarious. Y'all should check that
Yeah,
shit out.
Stephen A. Smith and shit on there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
did
doing
that Stephen. I watched
shit
that. It
like
was
a million
good.
views. It's huge.
Everywhere I
Like a couple
look,
days.
I see their videos pop up. They're doing good.
That shit's good. But they did a 2-part interview with him. And the first part, they was just asking him about, like, who he think he better in. It started off with, like, Jason Tatum. You better than Jason Tatum in your prime right
I
now.
did hear that.
And then they went to
What was his
asked
answer?
about LeBron.
He really didn't answer it.
For
He
Tatum?
answered that one. He said in my prime to Jason Tatum right now, I'm better than. But he's like, Jason Tatum got a long way to go.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of politically correct, but he still answered.
He didn't want to. at
Him
first.
and LeBron, he said he won't better than LeBron. They asked him, do you think he's a top 5 Celtic or if he's the best Celtic of all time? He said, no, I'm not better than Bird and Bill Russell and people like that he named. And then they got to asking him about the D-Wade shit. And because remember, I think a while ago he was on ESPN or something talking about he
him
was
and
better than
Jalen
ESPN.
Rose.
Yeah,
Jalen Rose roasted his ass.
So he kind of like broke it down on some shit like, dog, like, he basically said, at the end of the day, in my prime, I beat Shaq. I mean, not beat Shaq. I beat Kobe and LeBron. And I won me one chip once I got some pieces around me. He said, you don't think that I could have won more chips if I had Shaq or LeBron and Chris Bosh on my team? And kind of makes sense.
I don't think it's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
it
it's
just
crazy.
it just looks bad because he had the Wade
Yeah,
thing happen in the
beforehand,
past.
The accolades and all that shit.
But if
you
they
know.
ask him the question, I mean, what are you supposed to say?
Yeah, I mean, I know Paul Pierce been like the butt of the jokes for a while, but he's still one of them. Still
Yeah.
top 75 player right there.
I
like-
would say, he's not a better player than D-Wade to me. But when your name on the court was the truth, that means something.
he got that name for a reason.
No, we'll call nobody else that.
He got that name for a
We
fucking
don't call
reason.
anybody else that. Yeah,
And that's what he was standing on. Like, when it comes down to the end of the game,
He a bucket.
do you want me or D-Wade to shoot that shit? And we know the truth is the truth in those moments.
It depends on what
He
kind
gonna
of shot
hit
we're
them
talking about.
For
We're talking
sure
about getting
the
to the
jumper.
cup or mid-range jumper.
It don't matter the shot.
it's a
I take
jumper,
any shot with Paul.
If it's a jumper, I'm taking Paul. If
Mid-range jumper though, D-Wade ain't missing those. We talking about three.
Paul ain't either.
yeah, Paul
Yeah,
Pierce.
it depends
gotta
on
look
if
it
you need
up.
2 or 3 to me.
Paul Pierce is a shooter.
Yeah.
If it's a jumper,
He's a better shooter than D-Wade.
I want
You can
Pierce
agree with
shooting.
that.
All around, yeah, but D-Wade is.
He does other
really-
things better than, but shooting, Paul Pierce got D-Wade to shoot. That's a fact.
All around shooter for sure because he got range.
Yeah.
And I always used to say this about D-Wade too. I think D-Wade can shoot as well as anybody, but he just didn't shoot threes. He just didn't shoot them.
He's a
But when
mid-range
he-
guy.
When he did shoot them, I felt like he made them most of the time, but he just didn't shoot a lot of threes. He was always, shooting a jump shot or something. But I mean,
Mid-range
for-
assassin.
His mid-range game is second to none, in my opinion.
I agree.
Oh, that ain't true.
Off the glass, bro. Wade off the glass. Nobody could work the
But
glass better
Wade
than
was a
D-Wade.
slasher, though.
That ain't true. Neither.
He was more known for being a slasher than being a shooter.
I would say both.
He could hit mid-range, but he could get to the bucket
consider
whenever he
them
wanted to get
both,
to the
though,
bucket.
Like a mid-range shooter, like anywhere from that 20 feet in type thing, you in trouble.
Maybe in the
Versus-
later years, but prime
Dwayne
D Wade, he was getting to the bucket. He was dunking on heads.
I mean, that was his game. His name was the Flash. That's what
Yeah.
he's gonna do. He's gonna get through the lanes.
And that's what he was
get to
doing.
the
That
cup,
his
for
first shit
sure,
with
but-
Shaq called him the Flash
But
because
I mean,
how
that-
fucking fast he got to the
But
bucket.
he won't score. He averaged 36 points in that finals run. He won't just hit layups. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole lot of mid-range jumpers that people was getting in their face, dog. I'm talking that D-Wade off the glass is one of the prettiest things you'll ever watch. Because it's just one of those shots of how did he even get that angle? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a special player that way, I think. So to me, there's not a comparison, but I do acknowledge Paul Pierce as, like you said, one of the greatest players of all time for sure.
A bucket, straight up. So I won't mad at the argument. Made sense.
But he wouldn't be top 3 or top 5 at his position all the time, I don't think, and the way it is. So that's where I think it stops for me.
Depends on who you ask.
I think that's fair. I think we're running out of time here. So
Yeah.
if you are on YouTube, we appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week. If you're
Yes,
on
sir.
audio, we got a couple samples coming for you. Stay tuned.
Peace.
Chill.